Wanted, someone to go back in time and cover games news with us. This is not a joke. You'll get paid in exposure after we get back. We've done this 4 times before. Journalism not guaranteed. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Journalism Not Guaranteed, the only gaming news podcast that covers future, past, present, future not included. I'm Tectonic Improv, the host, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
Null Toxicity. I've recently purchased a Sega Genesis, from whom I will not tell.
I'll ship it soon.
I'm Tabby Nickel, and you bought a Sega Genesis?
Yeah, I got a good deal on it.
Are you?
He was asking for a Sega Genesis in the Reps 2 GOG server. And I was like, I have one like lying around. I don't use.
I have a want to play like the old Sonic games on like the original console.
Do you have the carts?
No, I'm gonna get them. They're not that expensive. It's like $25 for like some of them. Like they're not that bad.
Okay.
Tech, are you gonna get a Mega SG?
No. I know I'm like the Saturn guy, but I don't really care much to have like physical Genesis stuff. Gasp. If I want to play a Genesis game, I'll just emulate it. Fuck it. It's pretty cheap to get physical Genesis stuff though, because
nobody wants it.
Sega rules, Nintendo rules.
Also, I've been binging Scott the Woz videos recently, and I recently remembered like what Genesis cases look like, complete in box, and I'm like, wow. That's fucking awesome looking. I kind of want some.
They're good. The best thing about the Genesis boxes compared to its contemporaries is it lends itself to not being thrown away.
Yeah, because it's not cardboard.
Until they turned it back into cardboard, and then it did. But until then,
well, it's the same thing with like the Master System, where it's like those boxes are really nice. I really like Master System.
Yeah, and those box arts look like shit.
No, the white grid paper and like really shitty 80s drawings.
You're one of those people that likes those.
Yeah, they're so
terrible.
Well, Tabby, the Genesis has black grid paper with white lines. It's cool.
Yeah, but at least it has box art.
True.
And it's got what the fuck? What the fuck is the processing?
Blast processing.
We're literally just like verbatim like talking like out a Scott the Woz video right now. Let's talk about the news.
No, we're not. All right, hang on, wait a minute. I have a hot take about Scott the Woz videos.
Oh.
It's in his delivery, okay? It's the delivery that makes Scott the Woz so good. The content itself is just fine.
The content, I feel like he actually like kind of repeats himself a lot, but I do like Scott the Woz.
Well,
I like him a lot too. I want that to be very clear when I say something. When I say stuff like this, is I'm not a hater. I've been subscribed to Scott the Woz for years now.
How much money do you give his Patreon though?
He doesn't have a Patreon.
Really?
Shocking.
No.
How does he live?
He has like over 1 million subscribers and gets like bank for views.
Yeah, I guess so.
Constantly.
And he makes family-friendly videos.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you could look at that man and say family friendly. I can see the evil. I can see the evil in his eyes.
He must be doing well for himself.
I think he just had those. I'm going to be real.
No, he definitely. Scott also has a consuming addiction. I think, where he must buy things.
It's true. You do as well. Everyone should watch your house tour.
I do kind of, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I know all this stuff about Scott the Woz because I have all these problems that he has, and I'm not projecting myself onto him. I just know it to be true.
Hey, Tech, your delivery is fine.
No,
but I was saying that the delivery in Scott the Woz videos is good.
Yeah,
I was brain hard. It's late.
Let's get into the news, though.
Yeah, so I wanted to... Yeah, unfortunately. And our news podcast, we have to go to
2-hour conversation about Scott the Woz. That's the episode, guys. April Fools.
I'm sorry, I'm so podcasted out. I recorded a podcast like 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned.
And there was a new fan translation released for... a little game called Mazurna Falls, which I did not know existed until about today.
Same.
Which is it was a Japanese only PS1 game that, from the looks of it, it actually really inspired Shenmue and Deadly Premonition and that style of adventure game, the like time-based NPC different schedule. I don't even know what you call that. Like
Oblivion.
Yeah, kinda.
Life Sims, but there's like it's Life Sims, but is also a Twin Peaks ripoff, which is what I really need to get into this and why I've been so excited to talk about it. For those this is called Mizurna Falls.
For those unaware, I've just been rewatching Twin Peaks while working, and I saw this.
How
I was
far
like, okay,
are you?
I'm a little over halfway through season 2.
Are you at the Red Wedding yet?
I've seen it before.
And you still think that the Nadine like high school subplot is worse than James's Bizarre Adventure?
James's Bizarre Adventure is tolerable. The Nadine schoolgirl arc is by far like I started skipping through all those scenes. Like,
but it's like barely in the show. I think
it takes up like 5 minutes an episode.
But like James's Bizarre Adventure is like a major like B plot for 3.
But it goes faster than the Nadine school arc. Like it just ends up with like literally the only reason it exists is to save
James
Ed
something to
in
do.
one scene.
Oh,
and to make Ed and Nora. Yeah, Ed and Nora actually like get into a relationship.
So should people play this game?
People should play this game because it literally, the reason why it didn't release in the West is because it rips off Twin Peaks, like beat for beat. Like,
do you know the original Deadly Premonition trailer was like even more of a Twin Peaks ripoff?
So I've seen that, and this is worse.
Really?
Like the opening scene is literally like you don't have a Dale Cooper, you don't have the FBI agent. At least I've only played a couple hours, so I don't know if he's there, but. It literally
would be there by now.
It would be there by now. But the opening credit scene, or the not credit, like the opening intro before the title card, is literally, we found a girl who was killed and then thrown into a lake, and then her friend was in the woods and badly beaten and is now in a coma.
Wrapped in plastic.
James Hurley, I mean Matthew, need to go find their killer.
Matthew.
And don't talk to the creepy lady who has a weird obsession with an inanimate object. Don't there's a lot of supernatural stuff going on. It's based in the Pacific Northwest. Like it's worse than Deadly Premonition, because at least Deadly Premonition like has other things. This game is a PS1 game, so it's not much better.
I'd say Deadly Premonition has somewhat of its own identity, at least, especially near the end.
Yeah. Well, this is very much, it's very much like, oh, this is a Japanese man making Twin Peaks as a story. And actually, I was looking this up because I was trying to figure out anything about the game, and I ran into I'm trying to pull it up on my phone right now because apparently I don't have it. There it is. The person who ran this had a Tumblr page. This entire fan translation was made by 3 people. And they're like redubbing the voice lines and stuff that are in the game. It's mostly text based, but it's good. Like it's like, oh, this is like on par for an above average indie game's voice acting
in a PS1 game.
That
sounds surreal.
The compression is still all there, but it's like the quality of the voice. I just mean like
the performances.
That's fair. And like I was like, is this, when the net first showed up, I was like, is this the guy like from the original game? No, it is a Japanese man speaking English with a very thick Japanese accent in the base game. So they are re-recording stuff. The game has some issues like.
Wait, the dialogue's in English in the original version?
Some of the spoken dialogue is in English. Some of it's in Japanese. All the text is in Japanese.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah. I mean,
because they wanted it to be American, I guess.
Yes. Isn't
it funny how like Japanese creator, or just like a lot of Japanese game devs just like unabashedly rip off other properties and just get away with it, or at least used to.
And this guy,
it's not ripping off; it's homage.
It's an homage that you can't.
Homage, right?
It's an homage that you can't release in certain countries due to copyright laws. But there was an interview with this guy, actually a part of some book that I'm blanking on the name. Turns out the guy who makes this now lives in Canada and is a tour guide, like a wilderness tour guide. And he literally goes, yes, I got some ideas from Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet, which are both my favorites by director David Lynch.
Some.
Not
the Japanese love David Lynch.
The Japanese love David Lynch. It's very...
Everyone loves David Lynch.
Hey, Tech, can you put in the show notes like where people can watch Twin Peaks?
Netflix.
Yeah, it's on like Netflix or something.
No, just put a link to it in the liner notes, dude.
I'm not gonna do that.
You're gonna link to Netflix on the liner notes.
Matt, I know you're listening. You don't have to do that.
All right. What else we got? Is that all on the Twin Peaks stuff?
Yeah, it was something that was neat and interesting, and as I was just going back through the Twin Peaks hole, it was convenient timing. So, it's available on romhacking.net for the fan translation. Just the translation, not the ISO. Get that yourself.
Even though the company that made this game has most assuredly been out of business for like 20 years. Yeah.
No, I mean, they were releasing stuff on... Oh, fuck, it would be 20 years. I don't want to think about that.
Cool.
What is the company?
They declared bankruptcy in 2000. It's Human Entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Human Entertainment's been dead, dog.
Yeah.
They've been gone. What do you got for me,
But
Tech?
they made Clock Tower.
And they've been gone. Well, what the fuck is my news? Okay. Here, we won't spend like 10 minutes talking about this. PAX East is dead. PAX East, famous gaming convention. The deals with tabletop gaming and some video gaming.
What does PAX stand
Mostly
for?
That one. Penny Arcade Expo.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
those guys.
Yes, those guys. The somehow making back in the day when making like a gamer webcomic could pave the way for a media empire. I really don't know how this happened, but
Listen, shit was crazy back in the day. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally started with like people on the forums wanting to get together and play video games in Seattle, or like not even Seattle, like Everett.
And
that's pretty cool.
Just to know, like when we say PAX East is dead, we mean PAX East is dead this year.
Yeah, it's canceled this year. It was gonna be they postponed it, I think, to sorry. They postponed it to like July or something this year, even though it's it's usually in like the dead of winter. And by the way, which sucks because it's dead of winter in fucking New England. So I don't know why they picked that date in general.
They were just hoping the vaccines would be like more dispersed.
No, I just mean like normally the con is in the dead of winter.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Hey, by the way, are you guys Pfizer gang or Moderna gang? Which side are you?
I'm Pfizer gang.
Yeah, I'm a Pfizer fella myself.
Dude, we're a Pfizer. Okay, we're a Pfizer podcast. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, we're an officially sanctioned Pfizer podcast. Yeah. Moderna.
If there are any
Johnson and Johnson, do not listen to this.
If there are any podcasters who are Moderna gang, we are now waging war.
Yeah, true. I get the next shot next Friday, actually, the 9th.
Oh, nice.
That's also when the PS5 is supposed to show up, and it's when Nagatoro anime starts. So it's going to be a very busy day.
I'm still dead in the water as far as my vaccine quest goes, because I'm not a resident of the state I'm in, and they're like barring people, like non-residents, from getting it. But like,
you live there.
Yeah, but you have to be domiciled for a year to be considered a resident.
Oh, no shit.
But no, I found this like Native American hospital that will just like give it to anyone. So I might like try to get into that, you know.
It's pretty based.
There we go.
Yeah. Speaking
PAX
of,
East is still dead.
PAX East dead. COVID-19 not dead.
PAX West and Unplugged are still on, but they're in like September and December respectively. So chances are it'll probably go the same way, considering life is hell.
I don't think West will happen. I think Unplugged. Is that the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Unplugged
That's the one that's just tabletop.
Because I don't think Gen Con is happening this year. And with no big tabletop con in a time where I think most people are going to be vaccinated, or at least knocking on wood, most people are going to be vaccinated.
Isn't California doing like an anime meetup in the building that they're doing vaccinations like right now?
That's really funny. I don't know, but that's really funny.
I think I read something about that. Regardless, speaking of like giant conventions that people like to go to, E3 has announced that they are doing a digital show 2021.
We knew that.
Yeah, I know.
I swear we talked about this.
This is the preamble. Regardless, so they're doing the summer 2021 show, and they are considering making portions of it like to where you would have to pay to watch them. So think like buying a BlizzCon pass to get the goodies, you know?
So Jeff Keighley confirmed that's not happening.
Jeff Keighley, when did he do that? Show me that.
Literally today.
So did the E3 account too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, 9 hours ago, Jeff Keighley said, it's cryptic, but it's what it is. It says free to play #Summer Game Fest, which is implying that there might be some stuff that's paid for, maybe.
Well, no, yeah, it was never going to be you have to pay to watch all of it. It was going to be you have to pay to watch certain things. I don't know.
Pay to watch
I think E3 just really
showcase.
I just think E3 really wants a little bit more of that exclusivity that they used to have, and that's why they were toying around with this idea. But I don't know.
Well, the pandemic really screwed them over because not just for no events happening, but it made people who still want to run things to hype stuff up, force them to do online events. And then they realized, oh, we have that infrastructure, and it was the same price of buying a year of E3 to get it set up. Let's just keep doing that.
So Andy Robinson of Video Game Chronicle also mentions that this depends on publisher support, right? So it's like it would be like on a publisher on whether or not they would do something like that, right? So while like E3 might not be charging for everyone to get in, it's possible that certain publishers will opt into this, but like there's certain publishers that Andy Robinson talked to are like, no, we ain't doing that. So
what's the over under of, somebody doing an E3 showcase this summer in a live studio venue with like people in the audience?
Fuck, I don't know.
I don't think it'll happen really.
30%.
30%, all right. I'll live with that.
I think it's 50-50, dude. It either happens or it doesn't. But yeah, that's probability, right? That's how that works. Either does or it doesn't. Everything's 50-50. That's E3. Yeah. You got anything for me, Tabby?
Yeah, I got a thing or two. Speaking of events that are happening online, Tokyo Game Show has been confirmed to be happening online again, which is worrisome a little bit for the grand state of things. I think it's just being optimistic because it does happen in September to October, so we just don't really know what the state of the world's going to be like then. Like you're saying, hopefully it's people are vaccinated, but
what generally shows up in like TGS? Like what kind of stuff?
That's when
do you see generally?
A lot of the more like mid-tier and upper mid-tier Japanese devs show off a bunch of stuff.
Mid-tier.
Well, yeah, like people
smoking
like
mids, dude.
People like Arika
like weed.
Arika show stuff off there, which Arika's not going to be at E3 or Gamescom.
What about NIS America?
NIS.
I'll do you one better. Tokyo Game Show is that show that everyone always says Atlas will show SMT5 at, and they never do. That's what TGS is.
I
think
That's
they
what
showed
for.
it in a direct.
I guess they showed it. I didn't see no gameplay. It's supposed to come out this year too.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's
I don't know about that one, Chief.
It's happening online again. It's good. Tokyo Game Show also sucks because it follows a lot of patterns of Japanese live TV, which is very much, all right, we're going to run for 20 hours today. 4 of them are going to have announcement. 4 hours total are going to be people announcing stuff. 16 is just going to be panels that don't have anything to do with the actual game itself.
Oh, so it's like the Pokemon Direct. Okay.
It's worse.
I'll do you one better. It's like those old Pokemon Sunday shows that they used to have in Japan. Now, old head Pokemon fans will know what I'm talking about. Back before Gen 5 came out, people would watch this show because sometimes they said that they would have exclusive Pokemon news in this half-hour show.
Wow.
So people would watch this like variety bullshit, like nothing show. It's just people talking about Pokemon, and then like at the end of the episode they'd be like, sometimes it'll be like, here's the silhouettes for the new starters. And then, like, most of the time, it's nothing.
Imagine being a fucking games journalist during that time, and you just, like, you have to watch the show. Like, it's just...
Poor Cerebi, man.
You need to know. Oh, fucking Cerebi,
well,
jeez.
It's the same thing as those game journalists who have to watch all those, like, E3 after shows. Where they just, like imagine having to watch that just in case somebody says something.
Imagine being a games journalist. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be us.
Actually, Tabby, you say that they have to watch stuff like that, but didn't Kotaku literally fall for a Halo Infinite bait this morning?
Probably.
Yeah.
So they probably don't watch them, and they just wait for other people to talk about them, then report.
I would imagine there's at least one games journalist.
I think the landscape was a little bit different back when they were doing Pokemon variety game show, though. I think there was a lot more like original reporting, but you know,
I got all my news from Game FAQ. That's all I'm saying.
Hell yeah!
Some guy would live post the show, be like, nothing is happening. Everyone go home. Nothing happened this week.
All right. Well, the real over under is when we start getting events again. What's the chances that we can like fake our way into getting press passes?
Shoot. I mean, one of us has to have some sort of tenuous I kind of know Ludwig. So like maybe through that,
if the devs of Owlboy ever show back up to something, I know what know one of the testers for it.
We need to start like pounding the pavement on LinkedIn, dude.
If only that Final Weapon application worked, then maybe we could have gotten press passes.
We could still get press passes.
There's still a chance. I'm just waiting for them to email me back.
No, I mean, you know, we just like events come back next year. We just, you know, you just slide that application over, see what happens.
We just walk in with a big trench coat. Don't ask how that gets us press passes.
We stacked up on top of each other in a trench coat.
Yeah. Who are you? It's like,
hello,
I represent journalism not guaranteed.
Hello,
it has journalism in the
Gertzman.
name. Like, how do we not get a press pass like that?
We're a games media group. Why are you in a trench coat? It's like, I don't know.
I just really like
it's from the first draft.
I just really like London Fog. Yeah. So
Christ.
let me talk about some video games. We are going back to World War II. Hey, remember like when people were getting really mad that every Call of Duty game was World War II and every shooter game was World War II?
Yeah, and then they made Modern Warfare and everyone liked it.
Yeah,
and then everybody got mad that every game was about Modern Warfare. So then they made Future Warfare, and now everybody's upset about Future Warfare. So they're going back to World War II.
Well, they went back to World War II a little while ago.
Yeah,
didn't
no, Call of Duty World War II. This is truly the Ouroboros, but yeah. So we got information about Call of Duty The new one is going to be made by Sledgehammer, maker of good Call of Duty games. Tabby is making a face, but I think Sledgehammer is actually like second best.
Which one have they made?
Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, good games. Dr. Disrespect worked on Advanced Warfare.
He did?
Yeah.
Which one has Kevin Spacey in it? Infinite?
That's Advanced. That's Advanced Warfare.
Advanced.
He's the villain in that game. They were like Sears.
Yeah.
Didn't Sledgehammer also make Ghosts?
Yeah, Ghost is really good.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one.
Ghosts has one good thing or two good things on it. It's got Cranked, and it's got Fish
cool.
AI.
Okay.
Yeah, the innovative Fish AI.
So anyway, about the new Call of Duty, it is confirmed that is going to be a sequel to Call of Duty World War II called Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. They are...
Sorry, I thought
World War III.
I thought you were going to say World War II too.
Yeah.
The sequel.
I mean, they called they made the logo for Black Ops 4 three eyes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, it's... I don't know why I thought it was going to be something like normal.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Card Fight Vanguard. That sounds cool.
So, Call of Duty World War II Vanguard is going to come out, and the engine that they are using for it, they are swapping to the Modern Warfare engine, like the new Modern Warfare engine. So that game is going to play like Warzone, and that means that there's a possibility that Warzone gets updated to include stuff for World War II Vanguard.
No, it totally will.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a possibility.
I mean, Warzone is their battle royale. They're not making new ones. They did it for Black Ops. They're gonna do it for the future games until Warzone eventually dies.
So here's the thing. I really liked Call of Duty World War II, like how it played. I don't know what like engine they were using for it specifically, but I liked it a lot more than the Modern Warfare engine.
Uh-oh.
So this is an L for me, but a lot of people like Modern Warfare engine. So
it's a W for literally everyone but us, Noel.
Yeah.
Because, I'm the boomer. I want the modified Quake 3 engine that they used for 15 years. It ain't broke, don't fix it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so Call of Duty from, I think from Modern Warfare, it may have been the earlier ones, I'm not familiar, was using a modified version of the Quake 3 engine as their core engine for the gameplay.
You have to...
It's almost as psycho as Titanfall using the Source engine.
Yes.
This is annoying because I have to like mention that I am talking about the new game using Modern Warfare, the new Modern Warfare's engine, and you are talking about the old Modern Warfare using an older engine.
To be fair, the new one's called Modern Warfare Remastered, isn't it?
No.
No.
It's
No, they remade it.
No,
Yeah.
Modern Warfare Remastered is a remaster of the original Modern Warfare. This is Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, so there's there's Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
I'm really excited for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 too.
Yeah. But yeah, that's interesting. Call of Duty, pretty cool. Comes out every year. Love to see it.
Call of Duty pretty alright. Comes out every year.
Call of Duty sure is a game that comes out every year.
It's like Assassin's Creed.
Speaking of a game that comes out every year, Crash Bandicoot, well-beloved annual series. Recently just got its fourth entry in the Crash Bandicoot series. It was launching on PC. It got announced with the next gen versions and the Switch version. So everyone was rightfully pretty excited about this. More games on PC, the better. One problem: Activision owns the Crash Bandicoot IP, so they just can't help themselves. They always have to make everything like evil or bad for everyone involved. And the monkey's paw to Crash Bandicoot 4 on PC was you needed to be online to play the single player.
Yeah, that's pretty standard
Yeah.
Denuvo.
It give you a like a login error if you couldn't sign on to your Battle.net account.
Are you telling me the company Activision Blizzard was doing something malicious? Never.
Actiblizzard for short.
Yes. Hold your shock and awe over this. Now, the funny part about this story is that people managed to crack it in a day. So, yeah, I won't say it this time though, but there are ways to get around this.
Yes, I won't have to pull out the Doom shotgun.
And we won't have to pull out the Doom shotgun to let you know. But if you know, you know. I'm gonna do another.
Well, before
news thing.
I actually have something to say about that. Just
okay.
While we're on the topic of Active Blizzard, this is like a very small thing, but Andy Robinson from Video Game Chronicles got DMCA'd on Twitter by Activision for posting like Call of Duty leaks, because Activision also owns Call of Duty. So he got DMCA'd. He did not show like any footage of the game. He did not show any like pictures of the game. It was literally just like journalism. And they're just like, yeah, we're gonna DMCA you. They eventually like reached an agreement, and like they kind of like apologized to him, I'm pretty sure. But it's just really funny that they did that. Like Activision just like constantly just being the worst people in the room.
Yeah.
Activision being the worst people in the room, shocking.
Would you two say that Activision is probably the worst major publisher we have around right now?
Who makes FIFA?
EA.
EA might be worse.
Take-Two. I think Take-Two's worse.
Take-Two's pretty bad.
Take-Two is evil. Actibliz is malicious. Take-Two is evil. Take-Two is NBA 2K.
2K.
It reminds me of that Ross Scott bit in Ross's Game Dungeon where he's talking about how EA is like a bad company and people don't like them, but he's like, is there any proof that they're evil? He goes on to explain himself about how like for a company to be evil, they need to do really, really bad stuff, and I'd say Take-Two probably qualifies for that.
Yeah, Take-Two is. They also own Rockstar. So
who are the guys that they just buy up like old defunct like IPs THQ and just Nordic? Sit on them? THQ Nordic? I really don't like what they do.
They don't sit on them though.
Really?
They usually like use them.
Oh, maybe I was mistaken.
You're thinking of Night Dive?
Don't reference Night Dive. Shut up, Tech.
They're not a huge publisher, but they definitely buy old IPs. They don't sit on them though.
Yeah, I was under the impression that THQ Nordic like bought a bunch of old IPs and just kind of sat on them, but
they did. They've at least like re-released games on Steam to make, or like other platforms to make them purchasable. Yeah, in a modern era, and then they are doing I would say at least once a year. It's only been recently they've been doing remasters for old games. Like they did SpongeBob, they did Kingdoms of Amalur. They're doing
not out yet.
Kingdoms of Amalur is out. I own it.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it came out like January, I think.
Shit. Yeah. They did the Destroy All Humans remake too, I think.
Yeah. So that's like 3 in a year. So
yeah, I guess so.
They do.
So fine.
Are remasters video games though?
They do make new games.
By all intents and purposes, yes.
They did Darksiders Genesis, the ARPG.
Yeah.
The much beloved Darksiders series.
Okay, you said you had one more thing though, Tech.
I didn't have one more thing. I just wanted to say more news.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Pass the baton. Because I don't really have much to say about this, but I did want to talk about it because this game's cool from what I understand. Noita just had its final major update. It's called Noita Epilogue. I'm not gonna read off the patch notes because they're absolutely ridiculous how much stuff is in this patch. I was hoping to talk to someone in the meantime who like has played Noita, who could probably explain to me if this update's any good or not. But just looking at some stuff, it seems like it's pretty cool, and more support for this game the better, I'd say. People seem to really have taken a shine to this game.
Now that they have like a final like major update for the game. People can also like data mine it without like the content developers like what's it called, like threatening to like withhold content from them so they can like.
Was that a thing?
There was like ARG stuff that they were like, if you guys data mine this and find it out, then we're just gonna like not like put the updates into the game.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it, but now that like this is supposedly like the final like update of the game, it's like now you just can't do it and there's no repercussions. So
yeah, that's good.
Speaking of games with large updates, Cyberpunk patch 1.2. I don't know if the patch released yet, but at least the patch notes did. Okay, so
is the game playable?
No, there's
Didn't
just
you
a lot of
play
things.
it?
Yeah, I bought it. I bought it and played it.
Yeah, I bought it as well.
So it is so you already played it.
Yeah.
So it's only uphill. Well,
there's things that are in this that are like a major oversight that should have been in the game to begin with. I'm not going to go through everything because it is mostly like major progression bug fixes.
To be clear, like Cyberpunk has been pulled from almost like every like storefront at this point before this patch.
I went to my local Bull Moose, which is like it's just like a record games movie store or whatever, stuff like that. It's local. And I noticed that they had like 5 pre-owned copies of Cyberpunk on PS4. It's like, you fuckers ain't selling that. Just like you're not selling the 5 copies of Star Fox Zero you've had ever since I've started shopping there.
But there's some big things that they've added, like the option to craft multiple items at once.
Jesus Christ! Thank God.
Oh,
you
poggers.
ever just need to craft a bunch of ammo and then you have to spend 5 minutes?
Dude,
the crafting system is bad because this is specifically, I think, designed for consoles, because on mouse and keyboard it's terrible. You have to hold down the craft button for a certain amount of time to craft stuff.
Yeah.
So if you are like mid a combat and you needed to craft a bunch of ammo, you had it just took forever, and like it was just not a fun time.
The menuing in general for that game was so fucking rough. Like, just like
how rough was it?
Anytime I had to open like my inventory to do something or change something, I was just like, my eyes were bleeding and like my body started convulsing. Like, it's real bad. Like, I like that game, but it definitely like had a lot of problems that needed to be addressed.
It needed another couple years in the oven.
Yeah. But yeah, is there? So these games are still not like back on marketplaces.
On consoles? I don't believe so. They are. It is still available on Steam. It's still available on GOG.
Yeah.
No way.
It's going to be available on Stadia soon.
It at least works on PC, and I'm using works in the lightest term possible, because like I was playing it on a outdated rig, something that can handle modern games pretty well, and I couldn't get above 60 FPS on low settings, and people weren't getting past 60 FPS on high with like 3070s, so it's definitely got to be more optimized, or just not run as shit. Hopefully, I hope nobody's asking for a Switch port of this game.
No, I want to see the Switch port. I want to see the Switch port so bad.
I am very tempted to go buy a used copy of PS4 Cyberpunk.
I can ship you one. I know where to find one.
I want to see if some local places have it before.
My roommate played Cyberpunk on Xbox One.
Does he have an Xbox One X or just a vanilla Xbox One?
I don't know, and I don't want to ask him right now. So
I think he just has a vanilla from when I was there.
they should release Cyberpunk on the Switch, but it should actually just be like a 16-bit demake of the game.
Yo.
Oh, actually,
V in 16-bit.
Speaking of demakes, because there was a couple that were announced as jokes but are real games that are releasing.
Yeah, how much April Fool's stuff were we gonna cover?
This is the only things I want to cover. Everything else was really dumb and kind of stupid.
Yeah, the April Fool's stuff this year was kind of weak.
There's three things that I saw. One is not getting released, but it was kind of neat. Have you seen that Bloodborne demake on Twitter at all?
No.
Yes, it's pretty cool.
So there's someone who's basically making PS1 Bloodborne, and they jokingly made Bloodborne Kart.
That's funny. Day. That's probably the best one I've seen.
Which I don't know if that's actually going to have a version of it at all, but it's at least funny that they put in the effort to make it function. Control has a PS1 demake that is apparently going to be releasing. I don't know for free or if you have to buy the game or whatnot, but it's doing that.
Is it being made by Remedy or is it
being made by Remedy?
Oh, no shit. Okay, that's cool.
And Dusk is doing an Atari demake. I don't know.
It's Commodore, I thought.
Is it Commodore? That
Dusk 82. I saw this one. That one's cool. Okay,
yeah. Those are the only ones I saw, and I think the only things worth mentioning from.
Is that one real? The Dusk one?
As far as I'm aware, yeah. I mean, I can go look.
You guys know how I like to apply the ship of Theseus to video game remakes?
Yeah.
Can I do that but backwards to demakes? Like how does the ship of Theseus thought experiment work in reverse?
Ship becomes Theseus?
I don't know.
The ship formerly owned by Theseus? I have no clue.
But you know about the ship of Theseus, right?
We've talked about it a lot.
Okay.
It's a favorite analogy of mine.
Oh,
metaphor,
cool.
Whatever.
It's just like
also, the sword of Damocles. That one's pretty good.
What's that one?
Okay, so the
is
the
it
Dusk
just a sword?
One is confirmed fake.
Oh, Dusk is fake.
It's,
yeah.
Oh, damn. I figured.
But the Remedy one is real. I know that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, viewer, but I'm pretty sure the sword of Damocles metaphor is, it references the fact that like a sword hangs over the head of Damocles if he I believe if he said the wrong thing. Why Tabby? Don't look at me like that so quizzically. Now I feel really unconfident. I'm just gonna look it up.
Because I was looking at dust stuff. I don't know why are we talking about the sword of Damocles?
Because no one wants to know what it meant.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's just a metaphor for like something imminently terrible about to happen, and it never goes away. But it never really happens either. So just like Dread itself. Metroid Dread, if you will.
Metroid Dread. Very good callback. What do you think about Mario's death? Tectonic improv.
Can we have a moment of silence for Super Mario and Marth, Prince of Altena?
Yeah, I'll play taps. I'll play taps in the audio.
Dorime.
Keep all of that in, by the way.
For sure.
That's important. We need a moment of silence.
I'm also not going to play taps, but
the day of reckoning, it's come. Everyone's been memeing about it forever. But yes, Super Mario 3D All Stars and Super Mario Bros. 35, they have truly been delisted from digital stores, and I assume they are also not printing. Not printing physical copies of 3D All Stars anymore. Nintendo has assuredly killed Super Mario, and to a lesser extent also killed Marth of Fire Emblem fame, because this is kind of flew more under the radar because it's Fire Emblem compared to Mario, and it's the only thing that's going away is a localization of the NES original Fire Emblem game, but that also happened. You can't get that anymore.
I'm assuming that ROM has been dumped onto the internet, though.
I mean, the game itself had been translated for years, but it was kind of cool to have an official localization available for Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, which is the name of the game. But yeah, no, this fucking sucks. Everyone knows this sucks. It's shitty. It's terrible. And obviously it was just used as like a FOMO tactic to get some scratch. I believe there was a statement that said as much from a hashtag reliable source, but I mean, we all kind of knew it already.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you set a this is going away forever date, it's going to do that. I mean, it worked on me. I bought a copy when I probably wouldn't have if it was just a normal release.
My brother bought a copy to scalp it. It's still in the box.
I mean, mine is also still in the box and unopened. That's just because I haven't touched my Switch in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Did you get the You're talking about Mario, right? Not the Fire Emblem one.
Yeah,
because they had like a huge.
I forgot that they did the
collector's
Mario,
edition.
The collector's edition, yeah.
The shitty thing about the Fire Emblem one though is that the collector's edition comes with all sorts of stuff, but it doesn't come with a physical copy of the game.
Why bother?
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, collectors don't actually play video games, right?
Yeah, they don't play video games. They put them on their shelves and put them in their room tour videos.
Man, I saw
just
this
like NFT owners.
I saw this fucking picture of like it was a picture of like Shigeru Miyamoto like shoveling Switch cases into a furnace, and Sonic is like looking through the window, just like smiling. And it was really funny, but I can't.
Yes.
I can't find it. Just the idea of Shigeru Miyamoto just like shoveling physical copies into a fucking furnace is so funny to me.
It is funny. I don't know what else to say, really. There's not really much else to say besides just bitching about how it sucks.
If I hear anybody bring up Mario ever again.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to come across like I'm over it or anything. You know, like as for like the games itself, I can, you can play them. You can play them through other means. It's just it's the principle of the matter, and I understand why everyone's upset.
Yeah. And that's really why I wanted to bring it up, because I really hate like Nintendo's business practices.
And
they're terrible.
Nintendo is smart enough that they did it with this, and they did it with Fire Emblem. I don't know how well Fire Emblem sold, but I guarantee you this Mario game sold like hotcakes. Because it's Mario.
It did. I remember seeing sales figures.
Like
the fucking Mario Battle Royale game, that should not have gone away. There was no
Mario
reason to
35.
take it away. Yeah. It was literally a free game with the online.
Yep. I don't know.
Completely.
And before
stupid.
somebody comments, like in the comments, just like do pay with your wallet. It's like, I promise, I have not bought a Nintendo product since the Wii. So
Nintendo, fire that man.
Were we talking about this like a couple episodes ago about how vote with your wallet doesn't work?
Vote with your wallet not only does not work, but also it's a really annoying thing to say to someone.
Vote with your wallet does work when it's like small indie dev. That's
it's like
it.
Just close your eyes, lol.
Yeah. Just pretend Mario's alive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through one more thing here. Intel released a
I really want to hear more about this.
Okay, so they revealed at where did they reveal it here? GDC showcase event at some point. It's a program called Bleep, and what Bleep does?
Called Bleep.
Yeah, it's called Bleep, and I'll just read this little blurb here. Tired of online gamers shouting racist or sexist slurs as you play? Intel is preparing to roll out a new program that can help users automatically filter out abusive language from their in-game voice chats. This is a program that you can run that will listen to all incoming audio, and if it hears something like a slur or like a swear, like you can change the program settings. Like you can be like, okay, well, I'm okay with some ableism, but I want all aggression and LGBTQ hate gone. That's you can. They're little sliders. It's like I want to hear no aggression, but I want to hear all of the LGBTQ hate. Like it's like a weird like slider thing that these are not statements I'm making. This is Do you guys
I want
wanna
ruthless aggression.
Do you want to see the
And
screenshot?
I want some slurs.
There's the screenshot.
This is wild. I didn't know that there was this.
There's.
Yes, let me turn up the LGBTQ hate slider.
It's like I want to hear. Yes, that's.
Please put this in the show, please.
Okay.
And
Yes.
the word is on.
Okay, so here's the thing. You in this photo, and we'll put it in the show notes. You can see that you can it's a slider for white nationalism. So you can be like, okay, well, I'll take some white nationalism, but the N-word is an on-off switch. You cannot have some N-word. It's either all or none.
Yeah, wait a minute. It should be a toggle. What if I want soft A?
Oh my god. But yeah. This is
Oh my god.
this is an interesting program that really it really just is a solution to it's a solution to the what's it called? What are the symptoms of like toxic, gaming communities rather than like addressing the core problem? It is literally ha 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 ha. How is cyberbullying even real? Just close the laptop. It's literally that, but a program that listens to everything that you're listening to.
How is it real? Just bleep the game.
Yeah, just bleep the game.
I don't understand. So here's what I'm curious about. Is obviously it's very funny that you can toggle to have some slurs, but what do they decide?
Yeah.
What do they decide what slurs to bleep? Like the really bad ones, or just like every other slur gets bleeped?
I want to know what.
We should try this on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll just run a filter over it, and then we'll release edited versions of the podcast.
Maybe that could be the April Fool's joke. This is out.
No, it's not. It's not out. They're going to be rolling out like beta packages.
Yeah. They're rolling out beta, all right. Am I right? But they'd probably bleep that.
The main thing I could see with this, like as an actual benefit, is for like large scale Twitch streamers.
Yes, Twitch streamers
have to worry about people in random voice chat, throwing around hard R or other ableist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic things.
Yeah.
So
that is the only
an advantage.
That is the only practical use that I can see for it. Which it's good for that. It's also good for people who really do not want to hear these things, but they want to still enter spaces and be able to. But the thing is most games have a mute function.
Yeah,
and
they have a mute function.
If you hear someone saying something you don't like, you hit the mute button and it serves the same purpose.
And I would say most multiplayer games that are available now can be played entirely without having to use text or voice communication. Almost everything has a ping system in it now.
So yeah, this is also another thing that I find interesting is when they're doing voice recognition and creating the program to figure out the voice recognition, do they have a programmer who's sitting in there just saying all these words so that they can test it?
I would imagine.
Is there a guy whose job was to say slurs for a while?
I mean, does this work over media and the
I don't know. I assume that I assume that it just runs over media because it's built on the stuff that they use to find swears in text and in audio and stuff like that. So it's not new technology or anything. They're just trying to repurpose it so that text can be audio.
Yeah, and it's all interesting. I'm interesting to see what happens with it because
I think it's good for Twitch. I think that's pretty much it, right?
I mean I do know people, and I also know that they would be out there. There are people who legitimately they have previous experiences. I don't want to say the words can't handle it, but they are it affects them deeply, or more compared to other people. Me, honestly, you can kind of just throw anything around, and I'll just be like, all right. But I know people who are a lot more serious about it.
Yeah.
So there are advantages on a person-to-person basis. I don't see it being used that much.
It seems like mostly redundant to me, but I do understand that there are certain people that it'll help, and obviously it'll help. Summit 1G, stop the stream snipers, please.
Speaking of Summit 1G, he was a Counter-Strike player, right?
Yeah, Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
professional.
So with professional Counter-Strike players like to do one thing, and that's use illicit ways to make money. Noel, I know you've played Counter-Strike in the past. Tech, I know you haven't.
Hey, I played like an hour of Counter-Strike Global Offensive when that revolver came out, and it was super overpowered.
The pocket op.
The R8. When the R8 was new, I played a little bit of it.
But as is with a lot of esports back in the days, and it is still now for like CS and other things, match fixing is a huge problem because esports gambling is quite big.
More like it's based.
I think there was an interview with someone from, what organization was he from?
I don't know what ESIC is, but...
it's the Esports Internal Committee, I believe is the name for it. It's basically a legal entity that works with esports orgs like ESEA, Riot, the Dota people. There's other... No, there's a specific like circuit I'm trying to remember the name of. That's
the International
ESL.
ESL.
ESL,
okay,
that's
yeah.
what it is. And so they're a legal entity. They're all like sports lawyers who are working on it. At least that's what from what I'm aware of. And
they're finally acknowledging the esports are real sports.
I mean, that's been a thing.
I know.
And this interview is actually it's really interesting. I even think outside of that whole bit, there's some, if you have vague interest in like esports, there's some cool stuff that is, at least I think is cool. That's in this. And so it sort of talks about, a lot of it is Counter-Strike oriented because that's where the channel is from. But the main thing is that with match fixing being so rampant in North American Counter-Strike, of people throwing games for large cash sums and the like, or for favors on betting sites or stuff like that, it has gotten to the point where I think they said it's like a $50 million industry or something now for match fixing.
Oh, so it's like RuneScape gold farming.
Yeah, but with real money and like it falls under gambling laws.
I didn't mean
like federal gambling like restrictions that are not a part of it.
I didn't mean to besmirch your trade, no.
Yes, me. That's what I do.
So now the FBI is involved into North American NA match fixing. They said this was on March 31st. I don't know when it was recorded. It's the Esports Integrity Commission. I think it said internal. In this interview, Ian Smith, a representative from there, said within roughly 10-ish days, they're going to be announcing the players that they are punishing for for match fixing.
Publicly? They're gonna lambast them?
They're gonna publicly execute 10 CSGO players.
They're gonna publicly ban them or say who they are, and then there's going to be a thorough investigation through the FBI to see if they actually affected anything federally.
I'm very excited to see this laundry list. I'm not gonna lie.
He didn't say it's a lot. He said, there's a lot of people, but they're only the people that they're hitting right away they're going after the big boys, yeah. Which are, funnily enough, I was perusing CSGO Twitter about this, and people are saying it's mostly Valorant players that are going to be hit by this.
No, Valorant players and like CSGO
God,
players.
Don't be sneaky.
It won't be sneaky.
It won't be sneaky. This is about North American Counter-Strike.
Sneaky's not.
I thought he played Counter-Strike.
No, he played.
He's a League of Legends player.
It would directly affect him though, because he is a. He is a co-owner of Cloud9.
I don't think C9's doing match fixing in League of Legends.
No, I'm saying their Counter-Strike team might.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
shit.
no. So what you're telling me is that the
We're all gonna have to
FBI,
sub to his page.
the FBI is chasing waterfalls, and they're not sticking to the rivers and the lakes that they used to.
Basically.
But they're gonna have it their way or nothing at all. And personally, I think they're moving too fast.
yeah. I'm very interested to see what happens with this. I'll be keeping an eye on this. 'Cause,
I will be like waiting until you tell me that something funny has happened, and then I will be keeping an eye on it, which is pretty cool.
I'll let you know when Slasher tweets something.
Yes, Slasher, not /48, but /32, but Slasher.
Yep. Different
Two
people,
completely different
both
people.
White guys, both esports journalists, both with Slash in the name.
Both DM women?
Slasher do that?
I don't know. I don't think so. Wait, maybe.
Was that Mahler?
I don't know.
Whatever.
It was definitely not Mahler.
Does anybody else have something they want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the Sony stuff.
Okay.
All right.
What does Sony do?
Same shit, different week. We talked last week about how allegedly Sony was gonna shut down the PlayStation 3, Vita, and PSP stores. I said in last week's episode that the PSP store was already shut down. Apparently that's not true. So there's that correction. But I will soon be right, because it is getting shut down in July, as the leaks confirmed.
Yeah.
PSP and PS3 are getting closed on the 2nd of July, and then the Vita is actually getting closed over a month later, on the 27th. Something that's really fucked up about this that we're starting to notice is that like Vita games were still like coming out, like indie games.
Yeah, and
but it was still happening.
They just didn't fucking know that it was going to be shut down.
And these people did not know this was happening, and since they don't print Vita like physical carts anymore, the digital store was the only way for people to sell, for indie devs to sell these Vita games, and they just like straight up were like, we have to cancel the Vita version because it won't be finished in time.
Which sucks.
So that sucks. Fucking blows. It's terrible. It's just, it was inevitable, but also
I'll just say custom firmware on the Vita is very good.
It's very easy as well.
Mm-hmm. Plug and play, some would say.
Now, something important is that you can still re-download stuff that you've already bought, but still, it's if you want something on the PlayStation 3, you better pony up now, because you're not going to be able to get it come July 2nd. I'd like for there to be a sale before this happens. They've done deep discount sales before. I bought like all of the Crash games and all the Gex games and like Siphon Filter on the PS3. I had extra money left. I had $5 left over, and they were selling these games for like 99 cents. So it's not above them to do stuff like that, but they probably won't, because fuck you.
I'm actually curious about, I'm going to check price charting right now, because I'm curious about how this is affecting the actual price of a PlayStation 3.
Oh, true.
PlayStation 3 prices are already like really weird, because when you go through quote unquote an official means, like if you went through like a third party store or something, the PS3s are still kind of expensive, but if you go through Craigslist or anything like that, they are dirt cheap.
So it's still like $80 on eBay, like for a PlayStation 3 Slim 500 gigabyte.
You can find them cheaper. I got my my fat launch model after I sold my launch model a couple of years ago for $20 on Craigslist.
I'm going to wait, because I do want to buy a PlayStation 3 at some point. I'm going to wait until the store actually closes, because I want to see if the price just plummets.
With the ease of CFW or custom firmware on the PS3, like I don't think it'll affect it.
I don't think it'll go up, but I'm also saying it definitely could plummet. So I'm definitely gonna wait. That's kind of my.
If you want to try, I did this with because I own 2 PS3s. Because I'm an idiot.
Everything wrong with games, Tabby Nickel?
No, I actually bought it because the launch model one overheats too much with certain games, so I wanted something that could play PS3 games but wasn't backwards compatible. I went to my local store and I asked for the PS3 without any of the cables or the controllers because I didn't need it, and I got it for like $50, I think.
I did that with a Wii once.
Yeah.
I discussed it in the room tour video.
Yeah. I mean, like, PS3 cables are just like the AV cables are compatible with PS2 component cables. Like,
it uses HDMI as well.
Yeah, but HDCP is kind of AIDS.
You can buy an HDCP stripper for $20 on Amazon.
It's true. It's what I have.
I'll just play it in Glorious Component.
But and then the power cable just uses like the PS4 power cable. It's a non-polarized, I think. Everything is really easy to get.
Yeah.
It even you can use PS4 controllers on it if you already have one.
Yeah,
so.
Which I do, but I kind of like the PlayStation 3. You can use
the DualSense.
Listen, out of all of the Sony like controllers so far, like the PlayStation 3 is like my favorite because
that's insane.
It's the classic DualShock design, but it has like, okay, here's the thing. I have a PlayStation 2 controller right here. It's in my fucking hand.
I feel like I hate the DualShock 3 the most.
It's in my hand. This thing is like,
it
is like light. It's too light. There's no weight in my hands. But PS3, dude, PS3 controller, it's got it's chonk, dude. And it has this classic DualShock design. I'm just really about it.
We should have gotten the boomerang.
You haven't tried the DualSense.
They haven't fucking shipped the console yet, Tabby.
This is my favorite controller now, easily.
Yeah, but listen, I'll get there. I'll get it eventually. Anyway, PlayStation 3, currently my favorite. PlayStation 4, a little bit after that, and PlayStation 2.
I used to really like the DualShock 4, and now I kind of hate it.
The DualShock 4 sucks. I've said that from the beginning. I like it more than the PS3 controller, but like the DualSense is really the fixed version of the PS4 controller.
The cable pisses me off.
It uses USB-C now, so.
USB-C is pretty cool.
All right, that's really all I had to say about the PlayStation Store shutdown. But there's more Sony news. There's more
Sony news.
Because when it rains, it pours. The Gravity Rush character designer Shinsuke Saito has left Japan Studio. Just more of the brain drain occurring. This is the guy who drew Cat, Gravity Rush, a notoriously very, very cute character.
Can't wait for him to go to that studio where all the other Sony Japan people are going.
Yeah, all the Japan Studio refugees are holding up.
I guess this is tangentially related to Sony as well, so I can kind of bring this up. But Ludwig Forsell of Kojima Productions, he's like he's like a composer and whatnot. He's been with Koji Pro for like 10 fucking years, and he is.
I saw this and I was confused because Koji Pro is. I assume when they say been with Koji Pro for 10 years, they mean the new company and the old Koji Pro?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah. So, no, he's been through thick and thin. Like, he's worked on Death Stranding, Metal Gear Solid, Super Smash Brothers. He did a stage song. But what's funny about this, I mean, it's not funny. It's just like, no, it's funny. He made a post like a day earlier saying like, hey guys, I have big news tomorrow. And everybody was freaking out. Xbox people were like, holy shit, Death Stranding is coming to Xbox, dude. Microsoft is gonna buy Koji Pro, dude. And like,
why?
And like Sony fans were like, oh man, dude, Death Stranding on PS5. I'm so excited.
What's up with Sony fans? Like,
it's like, no, I'm leaving the company.
Yeah, so no,
like,
it's
what?
he
That's funny. I like that.
No, it was very funny. And no, what he was doing is he's going to like work freelance. From the Twitter interactions, it looks like he's still going to work with Koji Pro, just not strictly for them.
A lot of composers are just freelance, so
Yeah.
it seems like the easiest like position to be freelance in the games industry, because like Yuzo Koshiro is freelance, Yoko Shimomura's been freelance for fucking ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drawing a blank at other examples, but
Family Guy
two's
man.
good.
Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, Seth MacFarlane's been freelance in the
Now,
games industry for years as well.
Naganuma.
Yeah. Hideki Naganuma has been freelance
Forever.
One could say he's been freelance for too long.
he needs a studio to chain him down.
He needs a fucking job.
He needs a hobby. Should take up like bonsai tree like growing or some shit, man. I cannot.
Jesus Christ.
I cannot take his Twitter.
On the
good songs though.
Do you have anything else to say about the composer?
Yeah, I hope he gets what he's looking for in the freelance world.
I hope the next Koji Pro game has Harry Gregson Williams back. That'll be sick.
Because speaking of people leaving Japan's studio, Gavin Moore, he was one of the heads of it, mostly in like a producer role. Like
he was like a liaison guy.
Executive kind of guy. He left Sony Japan, and presumably we don't know where he's going next. At least let me check his Twitter bio. We don't know where he's going next.
He's gonna go live in American McGee's boat.
Don't stop bringing up every time you bring up American McGee, I have to bring up the fucking action button video. All right, you just you should have put in the shotgun. I just have to do it.
So,
welcome to video games.
Yeah,
please come on the podcast.
The most recent thing he did was he was the one of the listed as I believe one of the directors on the Demon Souls remake.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. How did the Demon Souls remake do? I kind of didn't hear anything about it. I heard
it's done very well.
I heard it did well, but I heard people complained about like they kind of wished that it addressed more than just the graphics and maybe addressed some other issues that the game has.
It sure is the same
suck.
game with different graphics.
Yeah.
That's what Bluepoint does, and is, in my opinion, if you're going to be remastering games, is the best way to do it. Is you keep the game, and then you
charge $70 for it.
No, I mean,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm being unfair. No, I'm not.
You strip the game of its art style and then make it look prettier. And make it run
that's
like
what THQ Nordic does. That's what they did with SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. That's what they did for Kingdoms of Amalur.
Well, there were a lot of people with SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom who were like, maybe we, maybe I am just playing a PS2 game with a shiny coat of paint.
Fuck you! You just watched the Scott the Woz video.
I sure did.
When he talks about
that.
That game.
God damn you!
I'm working from home and I have no content to watch, so all I'm doing is clicking on every Scott the Woz video that comes into my feed. I have a problem, Tech.
Have you watched my old vids?
Go watch Twin Peaks.
No.
All right, sick.
Yeah, shit. Gavin, I don't think is as big of a. He is a big loss, but this is just another.
Not Gavin. Anyone but him. Sorry, I'm sorry. That's rude. I'm sorry.
It's just another nail in the coffin on the of Sony Japan.
Yeah.
Brick in the wall.
Okay, that's cool. Who has the most news? Who hasn't talked about? Who has the most news left?
It's always Tabby.
Kind of is. Tabby, go through fighting games.
I have
go.
I have 4 things left.
Bitch, I got one thing left. What are you doing?
You guys were shut up.
I did do some leapfrog with the news.
Yeah. Fighting game news. Capcom is doing their spring showcase on April 6th. They haven't said what they're going to be showing off, but at the last one they did in January, they showed off Dan, and then that's when they revealed Rose and Oro as and 11 12, the random character. But So now, presumably, we're going to be seeing Rose. We're going to see a release date for Rose. We're going to see something from Zed, I think.
There's one more character to reveal, right?
Yeah, there's still one more character that we don't know. Nobody's sure who it's going to be. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, this is going to be a guest character.
Nah, it's Q.
No, Q's already in the game.
What?
Yeah, it's G.
We need Sean.
Okay, no, but it's... No, wait, not Q. Then what's the fucking weirdo guy from Third Strike?
Oro?
The goop man. There's a goop guy, right?
That's 11.
Yeah, they're gonna put him in.
12 is already in the game.
What the fuck? They put all the weirdos in already. Who are they gonna add?
Sean.
Well, that's the thing.
Amigo. Amigo's gonna be in.
Shut up. First off, Ruby Heart should get in before Amigo. People are suggesting it's going to be a guest character.
Oh, Negan. Okay.
Because I'm sorry, I've heard the other character.
No, it's gonna be Daryl Dixon.
Please, I would buy Listen, I really don't like the new Street Fighter game, but I would buy it instantly if Daryl Dixon got put into the game as a DLC character.
Does Street Fighter do like guest characters?
No, not normally. No, I don't think the closest thing
they
do to guest characters
in games, but
the closest thing they do to guest characters is technically all of Capcom's beat 'em ups and some fighting games are in the same universe.
Yeah, but that, I feel like that doesn't count.
We're getting a Rival Schools character. They'll probably show her as well. I don't remember her name because I'm a fake fan who's never played Rival Schools.
Is Sakura, right?
No, Sakura is a Street Fighter character that was in Rival Schools. I think it's Akira.
Fuck
is her
me,
name?
I guess. It's not Makoto. I know Makoto's the one a lot of people like. That it's not her.
It is Akira. It is Akira Kazama. She is the biker girl character.
Oh, she's like the Sukaban girl.
Sukaban.
Or she's just a biker girl.
She's like a biker girl, not like a Sukaban.
Okay.
But that's
for the non Nihongo savvy in the audience. What is Sukaban?
Just like a delinquent schoolgirl.
What, like with a pompadour?
It's usually like a long ponytail. Just play 13 Sentinels Aegisrim and you'll know everything about Sukaban girls.
I'm working on it. I haven't started it, but I'm working on it.
How long is that game, Tectonic?
I got, I think, like 60, 80 hours in it.
Fuck, man. You know, Scott the Woz did a video about RPGs.
It's game of the year, though.
So the next thing...
what did Scott the Woz say?
He did a video about RPGs, and he just reaffirmed why I don't like JRPGs.
I actually never watched that video.
Nintendo kids don't like JRPGs. More news at 11.
I'm a fucking Nintendo kid. Like, I don't get it. You know, Final Fantasy was on Nintendo, right?
No, it's a PlayStation.
I'm pretty sure where you live, they use a lot of lead paint, right, in the houses and stuff.
Actually, that was a problem for a little bit in the school districts.
New England's one of the most affluent regions in the country, though.
The next thing, since I'll just
go till you have one left.
Stuff. Among Us is going to be releasing on Xbox. I don't remember a release date, but yes, Ted. Among Us is releasing on Xbox.
That's sus.
It's good to have it on more platforms. Innersloth deserves all the money in the world.
Is
for
it
that
free?
Game. Don't know. I don't think so. I think
it's
you're
like $5, right?
Yeah,
$4.
It's like $5.
Oh, okay.
It's free.
It might
phones.
be on Game Pass.
Fuck yeah, it might be.
I
don't know. Game Pass kind of sus, bro.
I've got these two things left, so I'll save the big one for last.
We should do the Among Us spoiler cast. What do you guys think?
What is there to spoil?
So Kingdom
Who the
Hearts,
imposter is?
Oh my god!
It's you, Ted.
You're the imposter.
So Kingdom Hearts had its PC release. I'm gonna wait a year until it releases on Steam. And there were some things in there that people weren't expecting. Like it actually has.
Heard it was a good port.
It is a not bad port. It doesn't have ultra-wide support for some stuff, but like it's all pretty good. The biggest thing that is about it and what people were really wanting it for is the modding community, which was really only recently sort of getting big with emulation, determined that how it handles Lua scripting is very similar to how it handles it on the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 2 emulator. So potentially porting over mods is actually going to be a lot easier to this release, which means
the PC port is the definitive release then.
Yeah, the PC port will be the best version. They've already got Rage Mode working in it for Kingdom Hearts 2.8. The biggest thing is Garden of Assemblage. It's, I don't remember, GOA mod is what it's called, where it is a way to play Kingdom Hearts while skipping all the dumb, boring parts for people who have played the games a lot. You essentially go into a room with 10 doors, or 13 doors.
The door to darkness.
That literally just lets you go in any order. Like, okay, I want to go to Pride Lands as my first place. And you just go there and you play through Pride Lands. It skips all the gummy ship stuff, which is really nice. And more importantly, it's what they use for the randomizer. So if we get the randomizer working on PC legitimately, that'll make things even easier. There's a lot of potential for mods with this, and I'm very excited to see where it turns up in a year once I can buy the game.
Cool. Yeah, no, very exciting stuff. I like to see like
$60 for 2.8, please.
The 2.8 bundle is like, obviously $60 for it is ridiculous, but it like makes more sense because it's 4 games for $60.
It's one demo of a game, a movie.
No, that's 2.8.
That's what I said. 2.8 for $60.
No, you said 2.5.
I said 2.8.
You said 2.8.
I'm stupid.
Demo for a game and like a movie and a 3DS game, I think. What is even in 2.8?
So 2.8 has
never mind, I don't care. What's your other news?
Well, I've only got one thing left.
I'll go for now. So we all know and love Niantic, right?
Yeah.
Creators of Pokemon Go.
Ponyhongo.
Yeah, Ponyhongo.
Oh, and Dialga Lost?
Dialga, what?
They have another... It's Pokemon Go, but it's like a fantasy scheme to it. It's a pretty popular gacha.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I gotcha. Niantic basically put out a tweet, and they're like, hey, we are testing a Pikmin-based app in Singapore, and we will be sending out like beta tests in Singapore. Look forward to that, which is interesting. I think a Pikmin-based app in the vein of Pokemon Go is interesting to me. I don't know. What do you guys think about something like that?
I have no clue what, like, it's so vague. Well, what does that mean? What could it could literally be anything.
It's Pikmin Go. You take a picture of a fucking dandelion and you pull it out and then you get a Pikmin. I don't know. I just think that there's like interesting possibilities with it. Oh my god, I have 2 new newses. What the fuck? Okay, I'll say both of them. But before I say that, I just want to highlight this tweet on Journalism's Not Guaranteed tweet of the day.
You thought it was dead because we forgot about it.
It always comes back when I see a funny tweet.
Tweet of the day segment?
Kinda.
For like 2 episodes.
Anyway, somebody responded in response to this Pikmin news. Feline F3L1N3 was like...
doxing them?
It's not really a dox. It's just... Listen, they put it on a public
space. You can
space.
find it. Whatever. Yeah, you're right. I'm dumb.
They're
you're
like...
Right.
Why not start working on Pokemon Sleep with select button? No one asked for this, and Pokemon Sleep should have been released last year.
Well, she's got a point. It should have been released last year. We also don't know what Pokemon Sleep is.
I was gonna ask, what is Pokemon Sleep?
Okay.
No one knows.
it's when I look at a Pokemon game.
Get on.
But I just think it's a really like weird thing to be like really up in arms about. Like, dude, you should have had Pokemon Sleep out by now. Like, okay, one
should have had the shotgun.
For one, Pokemon Sleep, like, yeah, it was delayed due to fucking COVID. Like, it's not like they're not working on it. It's just like they had problems in development.
They're just being lazy, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Lazy game devs.
Lazy game devs. Like, this is literally cited like, hey, we're gonna release this in 2021 because like COVID kind of fucked us. And it's like, okay, that's like, this guy's like, where's Pokemon Sleep?
With select button.
Yeah,
it took me a minute to realize Select Button's a company.
Yeah, Select Button is the.
Oh.
Yeah, Select Button is the company that is making Pokemon Sleep, and Niantic is like assisting them with it. So like Niantic isn't even like directly like in charge of Pokemon Sleep, and they're just like being like Pikmin. What? Pokemon Sleep? We need it.
And, like, the idea of, like, you're working on this Pikmin game, that means you can't work on Pokemon Sleep at all.
Yeah. I mean, they're implying that they're not working on Pokemon Sleep in order to do Pikmin.
If you hop into game publisher or game devs' Twitter's accounts when they're talking about something and then ask them to do something else...
That's cringe,
Stop
dude.
it.
Yeah,
Stop
it's
it.
pretty cringe.
I
want to make sure that I clarify. Like, the company didn't say that they're doing this in lieu of Pokemon Sleep. The person was saying that in the tweet.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm just going to, like, go over my other news. Creators of PUBG Mobile, which is...
That's made famous by Null Plays.
Which is made famous by Null Plays. Which is... Light Speed and Quantum Studios, owned by Tencent. By the way, PUBG Mobile was like one of the biggest mobile games. Like, has an insane amount of downloads.
I think it
might be the most popular mobile game. I can't.
We talked about this because we were looking up something. We were looking up Genshin Impact.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago. It's like $1 billion in revenue or something.
No, this is insane. But the company who is behind PUBG Mobile has revealed a trailer on March 26th for a co-op survival game called Undawn. It looks like a co-op zombie fighting game. There was no gameplay shown or anything like that, but I'm very curious about this. I'm wondering if they'll be able to pull out another smash hit like PUBG Mobile.
They will.
I mean, with Tencent money, it's like...
It's going to be super profitable.
Yeah.
As long as it can run on phones and releases in China.
I mean, phones are just so good right now. It's like... You can do really good stuff on phones right now.
Yeah, like charge it.
And pay money via the Google Play app with your credit card.
Eat hot chip.
And lie.
But yeah.
And lie. I'm on one tonight.
Oh, it's going to be developed with Unreal Engine 4 as well.
It's surprising nobody.
So, you know.
Water is wet.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Well, that's that. Also, Grey's Anatomy is going to be airing on ABC. I'm sorry.
You know what's funny is at work today I saw the Grey's Anatomy book and I was like, oh yeah, Grey's Anatomy was a book. How does it end? Have they gotten ahead of the book yet?
It's like they do like a Full Metal Alchemist. They have to do Grey's Anatomy Brotherhood.
Dante, what are you doing here?
Tabby is so mad that I brought this up and that it got any amount of like airtime.
This is actually the best episode of Journalism Not Guaranteed.
This is the best or the worst, depending on who you ask. There's no.
This is the
ground.
bouncer of the Journalism Not Guaranteed. Okay, what have you got, Tech?
Okay, this is my big news. This is my big newsy. Analog, creators of FPGA systems. We've talked about them a little bit in the past before.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, Tabby's gonna jump in at any moment, so I gotta be concise. Creators of FPGA systems like the Super NT, the Mega SG, they're like recreations of the Super Nintendo and Genesis hardware. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis hardware, using FPGA systems, emulates at a hardware level, making it near accurate to the original experience, upscaled to 1080p through HDMI. So it's the ideal way to play your old game carts or from those systems on your television, if you want a somewhat authentic experience.
Is it ideal though? Because if you want to use the original carts, yeah. I think the ideal way is to use the original hardware on a CRT TV.
If you don't want to fucking lug around a CRT and don't have room for it like I don't.
Yeah. Okay. It is the optimal way if you want to play it on HDMI.
Yes, on an HD TV. Yes, that's literally it.
On an OLED. Anyway, I didn't even get to say what the news is.
Yeah.
It's the Super NT. It's getting restocked in April, finally. It's been out of stock for, I believe, 2 fucking years now, and the Mega SG and the digital to analog converter, which basically the DAC is something that lets you convert the HDMI signal to analog, so you can play your Super NT on a CRT if you were so inclined. That'll be restocked at a later date. We don't know that quite yet, so that's the good news. And it is pretty cool news. The bad news is that the Analog Pocket has been delayed and is shipping in October. Now, the Analog Pocket is another FPGA system, although it targets all sorts of the handhelds of the era. It does I believe it does like Game Gear, Game Boy Color, and like Game Boy Advance, stuff like that. And I believe Turbo Express as well.
It does Turbo Graphics games. It does the card games.
Yeah. Well, no, because that's aren't they doing?
No, it does the card game. Or no, that might be releasing with the Duo.
Right.
But there's a version of it that will let you use the Turbo Graphics card. I don't know what they actually.
It's using like add-ons or whatever to let you play like different carts. But I think the default one is Game Boy, because of course it is. They took pre-orders for this, I think, last May. And they sold out. It's been a while, Tabby. It's been at least. It's been a long ass time. And I briefly considered getting this because, first of all, I have a Super NT and I do very much like it. It's a good piece of hardware, and it's being able to play authentic GBA games through HDMI is also pretty exciting. However, it sold out in like 10 fucking minutes, and then I feel like ever since the Pocket was announced, the Analog has just sort of had this reputation for being terrible with their stocking.
Okay,
it was in August.
It was in August? Okay.
I know you have like comments on this, Tabby, but I just want to like put this into perspective. If you guys are at all aware of like the cult, like the cultish following of like trying to buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, listen,
Analog was here first.
Retro game, like people who are making hardware for retro game collectors and retro game enthusiasts have these people by the balls.
It is psycho shit.
Like it is like insanity. Like these items are like upscalers. These FPGA, right?
Yeah.
These FPGA like consoles, like all of these things, like upgraded wires for certain consoles.
Console hard mods.
Don't get me started on how hard it was to buy a Super Nintendo SCART cable.
Yes, literally. Okay, like these things. Like imagine the PlayStation 5. Like how it's like, yeah, dude, I gotta get a PlayStation 5. So I've been like checking for these deals. These people are like, they're like hawks. They're like, I need to get this. It's going to be on this date, and I need to be there the millisecond it comes out, or I'm not getting one.
It's because most of these people who are selling these things aren't like big companies like Sony.
Yeah.
They're like dudes in like their garage.
No, yeah.
So it's more understandable, but also it does suck.
It's not
and Analog is not in their fucking garage, by the way. So like they need to fucking get on their shit.
It's like there are just way too many like retro game enthusiasts right now compared to the like supply of these devices, and it's really
true.
Every time I hear these guys, they're like Tabby and Tech will be talking about some new like retro device that I've not heard of before. And they're like, man, it sucks we're not going to be able to get it. Also, it's $400.
True.
Yeah.
You can't get the satiator anymore, I don't think, until he makes more of them, which he will. And I think it was like $250. Worth it though. I'm playing Soccer Wars right now.
Flash carts, I think, are always going to be worth it, like no matter the price. Like before I dive deep into Analog and fuck you, like on that, I ended up getting one of the GameCube SD card adapters. So I have a disk drive replacement that reads an SD card just like my Dreamcast. It's a worthwhile purchase. It basically allows you to run homebrew software without having to get one of the Action Replay memory cards that runs off SD. And it's just a cheaper process as a whole. But let me get into Analog.
Well, I should say that they cite the chip shortages and stuff for the reason why.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, actually.
This is getting delayed, but okay, yeah, go
on. So around March of last year, basically once everybody was like, oh, we're going to go in lockdown for 2 weeks, and that's all it's going to be.
Unless?
Pretty much everybody in the tech sphere agreed that this is going to cause a lot of damage to silicone shortage issues that are already out there, as we already have, like, the silicone shortage is an issue that we have to be worrying about, but it's going to be even more of an issue while we don't have factories being able to run at max capacity to actually be producing these silicone chips, as well as a variety of other things that we're just running out of. And nobody seems to really be wanting to pony up the cash to try to make more factories or get people back in to actually be producing stuff. And to be honest, game consoles are towards the bottom of the list of things, such as a lot of places have government contracts they still need to fulfill for and smartphones. Those are going to be the two biggest things that will take up priority of all the chips. So honestly, if you're having issues getting a PS5, like, yeah, everybody trying to buy it is a big issue for it, but it's also due to the silicone shortage that's happening.
If you're having issues trying to buy a PS5, hey, get in the back of the line, pal.
Analog, this is directed at you and you alone. You guys need to fix your shit. Like, I everybody gets what your business model is, or at least most people get what it is. You're creating art. You're doing what Nintendo does. You're creating.
And it didn't used to be like that too. No. Is the thing, because like you could like the Super NT was on their store for like 2 fucking years. I sat on a Super NT purchase for so long. I don't.
Retro gaming has had a huge boom in these past couple years, though. Basically, around the time I got into it.
But like, they are like specifically keeping quantities low. Like, they are purposefully doing that, right?
They are, and they have legitimate reasons for it. With silicone chip shortage being one. Also, they do use parts of console hardware to make these systems. That's why they're so accurate. That's why the NT Mini, there's the Famicom
Nintendo
NES, I was blanking on that word, replacement, A, was selling for $500 and B, isn't available anymore because
I'm just surprised.
It was using hardware.
I'm just surprised that, like, with so much like want in the market, there's not more people like stepping up and making. Because listen, I'm sure like the people that are making these are like very smart people, like very like good at what they do, but like they can't be the only ones who are very good at what they do.
Well, and that's the thing is you actually have quite a few different FPGA systems around for various consoles.
There's a retro AVS for the Nintendo. But...
Yeah, that's sort of, if you're looking for like an HDMI easy solution, that's going to be your best bet for the NES. The Super Nintendo doesn't actually have a whole lot. Your best bet is the Mister, honestly, but you don't get to use your carts, and that's the whole reason you're buying these is to use original cartridges.
Yeah.
The guy, was it? I don't remember his real name, but his online handle is Citrus 3000 PSI. He is the one of the heads over there at Analog. And the thing is he still sells other console mods on his own private shop. Like he sells the PS1 HDMI mod, which I forgot to buy when they went on sale like a week ago, and I'm kicking myself over it. And he still sells them at a normal quality. So I think there's someone who's a part of their business team that essentially is advising them to participate in artificial scarcity to drive up the prices of these products and the want and desire. The issue is that with the you can do artificial scarcity. That's a normal business practice. It's really shitty and I hate you for it, but it works. The issue is your artificial scarcity is so low that nobody can buy it. Scalped prices for Super NTs are still in the $400-$500 range. Like
you could buy a PlayStation 5 with that.
You could buy a PlayStation 5. You could buy an average laptop and emulate everything on there. I know people want to play with their original carts.
Yeah. I mean, they really are just taking advantage of the like massive want for like retro games and like playing on these things.
And this wouldn't be an issue if they if they made their plans for the Super NT and their and the other FPGA systems open source.
It wouldn't be as profitable either though if they did that.
Look, sell the kits pre-assembled. Just let me be able to either bake it myself or buy it from someone else. Because if it's just you and you've created this, like, the thing is other stuff in this realm from people who work at that company have been made as open source. So it's not like that they're morally against it, or they're like, I don't want to make it open source, I want to only profit off of it. Other stuff they've made is open source. The NES HDMI mods, which I don't remember the name of the guy, but I believe he works for Analog now.
Kevtris.
Thank you. That's all open source information. The GameCube HDMI mods, that's all open source information.
Yeah.
I even think PS1 HDMI is.
I mean,
and it's just like
there's also probably something we're missing, in terms of business. So if you want to clear things up with us, just reach out to us. You can come on the podcast and talk about it.
Yeah, and I'll stop shitting on your product every 2 weeks. Just let me be able to purchase one.
Also, I just had a brain blast. Journalism not guaranteed.
My brain feels like it's blasting right now. Not gonna lie.
Journalism not guaranteed funded FPGAs. We go into business with someone who makes them, and we bankroll the operation.
With our loads of money.
With our loads of money that we're sitting on from the journalism not guaranteed empire.
Yes.
From all those journalism not guaranteed gold subscriptions.
Yes, and platinum. Don't forget the platinum, our real cash cow.
Of course.
Yes. See, this is gonna be a joke for a couple of weeks, and then eventually we're gonna make the subscription service.
All right. I actually have one more news thing it's hot off the presses. Yeah, so this was just recently uploaded to the Team Fortress 2 Steam Workshop. It is the bodybuilder cosmetic for the engineer. This is groundbreaking news. As you can see, it gives the engineer a much more manly physique, and I'm excited to seeing it added into the game.
Pog.
All right, so my last thing.
Link in the show notes.
You make the show notes. You can put them in there.
That's what I'm doing.
So, Katana Zero finally had an update for its long-awaited DLC/free update with new content. It was last updated. There was last an update in September of last year, and before that, it was December 2019, and that was Vote for Us at the Game Awards. So people have been waiting a long time. This game's great. If you haven't played it, go play Katana Zero. This is a very, very good game.
Watch the Gumshoe video on it.
Watch it after you play.
Well, it says as
I
much.
did the opposite, and I kind of regret it. But just some information on the DLC.
Yourself.
I do. Some information on the DLC is it's now 6 times bigger than the base game in file size.
What? So 400 megabytes now?
So I don't know sizes, but it's essentially going to be Katana Zero 2 in the scale of the amount of content that you're going to be getting from it. The team doesn't have a release date for the game for this to be out, but they said it's coming.
I'm a human.
That's very good.
Yeah. And they've been showing off another game that they're working on mobile called Pocket Squirrel. Didn't know it existed until just now. It's a mobile game. Tech, this is important for you. I actually didn't read all the way through this. They are working on repressing the Katana Zero vinyl.
I don't know the soundtrack to Katana Zero.
It's pretty good.
The soundtrack is very good.
You should give it a listen and then buy the vinyl.
Let them know. Let me know when they repress the Hotline Miami 2 soundtrack, so I don't have to pay $400 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of Hotline Miami, because I want to bring this up because I saw a comment about this and I'm still upset about it. And I've seen multiple people say this of comparing this game to Hotline Miami, which I get it. But
are you going to say that it isn't? Because
no. I'm saying they're very. Let me get to my point. Words are hard for me. There are people who are saying, like, I bought this thinking it was going to be Hotline Miami, but in actuality, it had a great story.
Ooh.
And, like, interesting characters, which is just like, did you play Hotline Miami?
Jeez,
Did you actually, like, listen to the words that were on the screen? Did you understand the context?
Maybe they played Hotline Miami too.
Even Hotline Miami 2 has all this, but it's like...
No, Hotline Miami 2 hater over here. Hater. Yeah, whatever.
It's just it's frustrating to just see that kind of stuff go around.
That is fun. Yeah, that is.
Yeah. If that was you, just play through the game again, but actually pay attention to the words on the screen and maybe think more than on like a 3rd grade level.
True.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's it for news.
Yep. I think that's it for news.
News from the present, but we need to go back to the past.
Stop! You can't do this. You can't say that word. You can't say that phrase. You cannot say we need to go back to the past ever again. Okay.
Because everyone's brain always goes to play the shitty games that suck.
All right, fine. Here, I'll redo it. We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back. And I won't even say where, but this is where you play the Return of the Mac song by oh god. Hang on. I'm just gonna start talking. So No. I told myself I'd credit him, Andy Blarg, because I forgot to credit him last time and say that he's the one who made the Return of the Mac: A Link to the Past parody song, and he graciously allowed, as you can tell from last week's episode, he graciously allowed us to use it for our podcast. So thank you, Andy.
A link to the past. Here we go. A link to the past. Start the show. A link to the past. Give your all. You know this game's a blast. You won't fall.
And now let's get into the past news. Tavi, you can have one of my news. It's fine.
You mean I can have my news so you don't steal my news?
I prefer if you didn't gaslight me live on the show, but I'm trying to be the bigger man here.
Babe, gaslighting? That's a big word.
Stop girl bossing me.
So as of March 31st, 2001, it's the 20-year anniversary. Sega discontinued the Dreamcast. This was their final foray into the console market. It was a failure.
But it wasn't bad.
But it's great, actually.
The Dreamcast was really cool. I think everyone who knows about the Dreamcast likes it.
I think it's something in hindsight that people like look back and they're like, actually, no, that was good. Why didn't we buy it?
People liked it back then too, though.
Well, I think a lot of the reason for it is like compared to the PS2.
I'm sorry, the PS2 is way fucking better than the Dreamcast, but like the Dreamcast itself was well received back then. I remember we had one. We had a Dreamcast.
Yeah, I had a Dreamcast for a little bit.
I have always a fun anecdote I like to think about the Dreamcast is I had a friend who had a Dreamcast. And when I went over to his house once, and for some reason I thought it was like Super Nintendo old. I have no idea why.
It's because it sounds Super Nintendo old.
It looks Super
we played
Nintendo
Tony
old.
Hawk on it, and I was just like, yeah, this is an older console. It's not like the PS2, which is like the new thing.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like a Super Nintendo.
The first video game I ever reviewed on my channel was actually first released on the Dreamcast. It's Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2.
So was Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
It was also it also had a Dreamcast port, I think.
Which was the first,
like a week before.
The first video game you reviewed on Reps to GOG?
Yeah, and also the second to last one I reviewed on Reps to GOG.
Yeah.
It's coming. The new review's coming soon, TM.
No, yeah, definitely. I think Journalism Not Guaranteed Platinum members will get the Dreamcast post-mortem. But, you know.
You said that so matter of fact. I almost believed you.
Everybody, listen. I swear these guys were laughing. They just did it silently. They were all smiling. I swear I'm funny.
Yeah. It was one of those. It was one of those nose exhale laughs.
But yeah, no, Dreamcast. I mean, realistically though, like 10 words or less. What actually went wrong with it? It didn't play DVDs.
The Sega Saturn.
Unfortunately, yeah, the Sega Saturn was kind of the problem.
The Sega Saturn is the issue.
It's what's funny is that the Dreamcast kind of killed the Saturn, and the Saturn kind of killed the Dreamcast. Because back in like 1997, I don't think it was Tom Kalinske. It was some Sega exec said that Saturn is not our future. In fucking 97. Yeah, no, he said that. It's almost exactly like how Nintendo was like, yeah, the NX is coming.
Well,
in like 2015.
It's so weird because the Nintendo 64 was like, I mean, people bought it and people liked it, but like, it didn't even really do like, I don't know, like.
Isn't the 64 like? No, the GameCube performed worse than the 64, right?
Yeah, it did. Even though the GameCube's way fucking better.
Well, it's because it had to compete with the PS2.
The N64 was 64-bit, dude. That's why it's
32.
Guess who watched the Scott the Woz video on the N64?
I can't keep saying things
because it was the Nintendo
references. It needs to stop.
It was the Nintendo. What was it? The Nintendo Ultra 64 or something like.
Yeah, because it was the Super Nintendo, so they go the Ultra 64.
Yeah, they're like Ultra, but also 64-bit. But no,
yeah, it's also 64.
Really,
don't forget about that.
It's really weird because, like, the Dreamcast is like in a weird spot where it's like, what generation do we consider it?
It's definitely 6th gen. I'd say it's the kick. It starts off.
It
6th gen.
but it also was like directly competing with the Nintendo 64, wasn't it?
No,
in the sense that they were out the market at the same time, because the Dreamcast came out in 99 over here. I actually think it came out in 98 in Japan. So, but it was demonstrably stronger than any of the fifth gen consoles.
Yeah,
it's like how like the Switch is in kind of a weird position in like generations where like what gen is it?
Yeah, it's like Nintendo. It's really hard to like consider Nintendo because Nintendo's always like doing stuff in the middle of a generation. So it's like
you also for generations, I always feel like you want to look at like what is the console attempting to do.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
the Dreamcast,
the Dreamcast had
the Dreamcast
PS2 games on it. That's like enough said.
Well, not only to have PS2 games, it had the Ethernet port in the back.
Yeah, it was a pretty big pioneer in the online. Like the Saturn had a NetLink too.
Yeah, but did it have Halo?
No, it had Painkiller.
There's a South Park game on the Dreamcast where you threw snowballs at each other. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was on the N64 too.
Yeah. You know what else was on the N64? Battle Tanks. That game's fucking awesome.
Sonic Adventure's on the Dreamcast. That game's good.
See, I mean, I'll disagree with that every day. But,
whoa, watch out. We got a badass over here.
whoa.
Doesn't like Sonic Adventure. Wow, what are you, Scott the Woz?
I don't like Sonic games that aren't like the original 3.
I'm dying. I can't. I don't even know. This episode's just going to be called Scott the Woz.
See, I was going to suggest
hey, all journalism not guaranteed here.
I was going to say we call this set anti-Semitism to some.
Oh no! Oh, that's so bad.
That's so funny.
I can't title the video
that's
that.
So funny.
That's so bad for like search stuff though.
Yeah,
it's really bad. Or you could say set racism to low.
Toggle
I really
N-word.
wish we could.
Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
Computer, disable N-words. Good.
Yeah, no, Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast,
very cool.
Well, one thing I want to mention on the Dreamcast, which I feel like is something in my sphere of people appreciate more than other people do, is that it is identical to the Naomi boards, or almost identical. It's a little less powerful, but
isn't it? You know, there actually was some like non-news this week about some Sega exec talking about possibly doing a Dreamcast Mini or an SG-1000 Mini.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Will
totally
it have
reasonable.
the memory cards with the screen on them that you can play on the go?
The VMU.
Yeah, the VMUs were really cool, but they're also really gimmicky and vary of the time.
I'm just saying, dude, throw Tamagotchi on there, dude. Throw Pokewalker on that, dog. It's all good.
The best part about modern Dreamcast stuff is outside like DC HDMI, which is a little hard to get. The Dreamcast SD card reader is readily available because you can buy versions from China.
And the what's it called? The mode is also pretty easy to get, I hear.
The mode's more expensive though. That's the thing.
It's like $200, right?
Yeah. So the SD card reader, the DCMU, was I paid $100 for it through the person, but you get them for like $60, and it will read up to a 512 gigabyte SD card.
And any way possible to not have the Dreamcast use its disk drive, the better. Because I don't know. I mean, you two have Dreamcasts, right? You've heard that fucking thing. It's like a PlayStation 4.
It was so long ago. It's so I can't really tell you.
I've never used the disk drive. I've only owned a Dreamcast recently, and I've never used the disk drive. I immediately bought it, took it out, put the GDMU in it.
I think the aesthetic of the Dreamcast is honestly might even be better than like the console itself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I think it's like peak Sega like aesthetic, like even better than the Saturn. The Saturn aesthetic is like kind of cool, but the Dreamcast is almost like the name itself is really cool.
The Dreamcast reminds me of the Genesis when I look at it.
I don't hear Genesis. I don't think Genesis at all. When I think the reason I like the Dreamcast the most is its aesthetic the most is how like un-Sega it is.
Yeah.
Because like the Genesis is very like edgy. It's very
listen.
It's got like a punk aesthetic. Like the Saturn is whatever the fuck it is.
I really like Sega's Black on Black. I think that's a really cool thing that they've been doing back in the day. You know.
Well, you can get the sports Dreamcast.
I like that too, but the fact that they changed it up for the for the Dreamcast is interesting in and of itself. Is like in like the context.
I think they just looked at other consoles and they're like, yeah, PS1's gray, Nintendo's gray, gray's in, let's go, baby.
Nintendo was black. N64 was black.
N64 is black, Super Nintendo was gray.
Yeah, well, that was a long time ago at that point.
I think
Whatever,
that's
man.
more Japanese computer aesthetics. Because,
Kinda,
like,
yeah.
like the PC-98 and the PC-FX. And
I like the colored buttons on the Dreamcast. That's... Actually, no, that was still in vogue at the time, because the N64 had colorful buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, on the controller.
Yeah, on the controller.
Because I have my Dreamcast just on
Yeah,
the shelf over here, and I'm like,
I
it's
noticed you two were, like,
great.
starting to object. I was like, the fuck, no.
Well, did the Dreamcast play like CDs, like audio CDs?
It did,
Because
yeah.
I definitely do also feel like making your console look like a CD player was probably like a good move too, which the PlayStation
Well,
1 and the Dreamcast do. Like a Dreamcast obviously looks like a very bulky CD player, but a CD player nonetheless. You
Saturn
know?
plays CDs, too.
And that's why, you know, PS2 wins again. You can play DVDs on that.
It's true. DVDs.
Oh, yeah? Well, can you games on it?
Yes.
Easy? Oh.
Yes.
Not as easy as the Dreamcast, no, but
Wait, literally just buy free. I have to get out the fucking shotgun. I'm so mad. Anyway.
Oh, fuck, no!
But
I can't help myself.
no, PS2. It's literally just like free McBoot card, and then like SMB or hard drive.
that wasn't how it was. With the Dreamcast, you could do the thing, like
Dog, you just do the thing and it works.
you
Sure.
because okay, I watched the YouTube video on this, so I know everything. Basically there's like a warp in the disc that it uses as its security protection,
Yeah, the GD-ROM.
but
They just take it out.
you can just like, yeah, you can
Yeah.
like you do hot swapping and it works every single time.
I'm just saying, like, even if it is like simple to do on the Dreamcast, it's pretty simple on the PlayStation 2. Trust me.
Do you think the easy as fuck piracy was another reason why the Dreamcast was dead?
Yeah,
Probably.
like I said, I didn't get to bring this up earlier, but I think the biggest reason the Dreamcast failed is because of the Saturn going, it's available now to retailers.
But hey, don't spoil that. We're gonna talk about that in like a month.
I want to.
I think it was gonna happen regardless, because like Sega, ever since I like late Genesis Saturn era, Sega has just been like at each other's throats between like the Western and the Eastern branch, and they could just
That
never.
too.
They literally choke themselves to death.
Imagine if Sega of America just got to run everything. Imagine how like in power that company would be today.
Sega would probably we'd probably be on the Dreamcast 6.
God, that would be so. That
yeah.
would be so cool. Like, just like a time split where like Sega continues to be a powerhouse and continues to make like really good.
More.
And you lose Microsoft in it. Do you imagine how much better that world would be?
You probably would lose Microsoft because there were Sega was in talks to I believe to have some sort of deal with them. I mean, it ended up happening with the Xbox. A bunch of Sega properties were published to that exclusively, much to my chagrin, because you can't emulate them. But
You can emulate the one that people want to.
Yeah,
true.
I'm you know, it's like whatever though. I mean, Sega is happily sitting on top its monstrous pile of money from like publishing games now, so it doesn't.
Yeah, they're fine. Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, that's
you
where I
wanna
was.
talk about-
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah. Good.
I don't know like how like actually impactful this is, because so
This was a big deal
March
at the
31st,
time.
2016. Sega had been in talks with Atlas about like acquiring them, and they would still like operate as separate studios. It's just they would be acquired, right? Or
Yeah,
separate entities, I
'cause-
should say. And this happened. This was like finished 100%. Now, like from what I understand, Sega had been working with Atlas and vice versa, like pretty closely for a long time before this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's you know, they publish stuff on Sega consoles and whatnot. Atlas used to be, I think they used to be straight up independent, but then they got bought out by an Index Corporation, which was As far as I know, it's just like a company that just was just owning things. I think I think they were like some sort of financial company that didn't have like anything to do with games, but they bought Atlas, and then in like 2013 or probably later than that if they got bought in 2016. Wait, are you sure it was 2016 that they got bought?
So they had been working under Sega for a while, but like the acquisition was finalized in 2016.
Oh, okay, true. So
this is like
this was when the announcement of the buyout. Okay,
no.
Yeah, they got they got acquired in 2013.
Yeah, so that's
all right. Yeah, that's when Index died. There was actually a lot of talk about like who was gonna buy Atlas. I know that there were some rumors that it was like, oh, Nintendo's gonna buy them. It's like, no, they're fucking not.
Imagine Nintendo making a good decision.
Microsoft is gonna buy Nintendo.
Yeah. I'm sure Microsoft was one at the time. Sony. I mean, Atlas. This is pre-Persona 5. This is a pre-Persona 5 world we were in at the time.
Thank God. Can we go back?
Shut up. So they weren't. So Atlas wasn't like borderline household name at this point, but they were still pretty big. Like, you know, they still had Persona 4, they still had Shin Megami Tensei, they still had
Yakuza,
all sorts of they
do. Wait, since integrating Atlas USA into its business, Sega's been able to localize games such as Yakuza 5. Is Atlas involved in Yakuza?
Atlas USA was a localization branch.
Oh, okay. So
they might have localized it.
Okay, that's what they mean.
That's what they did with Demon's Souls.
I was reading that and I'm like, what does Atlas have to do with Yakuza? But yeah, okay.
Well, Sega owns Yakuza, so
sure.
You know they can be like, hey, you help us out with this.
Yeah. But yeah, at this point in 2016, like this was a long time coming. They'd been working together. It's just like finally happened, and nothing bad happened. Both companies just got better, which is generally okay. What do you got?
Well, Sega. No, Atlas sure hasn't gotten any better about fucking localizing their games. That's for sure. It took a year to get Persona Strikers out, and you know, COVID notwithstanding, but there was also a substantial wait for Persona 5. And pretty much
it's about a year. About a year wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
A year wait.
When I say better, I mean like financially.
Okay, sure.
Because you know it's you gotta give and take a little bit there. But I mean, this was a lot of the times when a video game company is acquired, things get worse and they make less money.
I'll agree to that. Sega is probably one of the better companies to have bought Atlas. Yeah. If they because they're not gonna fucking. There is no Sega Dreamcast for them to exclusively publish to. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm.
If there was any company that was like wanting to buy Journalism Not Guaranteed, I would want it to be Sega. I think.
I wouldn't mind being owned by Sega. Not gonna lie.
I'd let THQ Nordic buy us.
Sega. Ew. Sega.
They'll pay. That's
yeah, but Sega
Journalism
also
Not Guaranteed remastered.
Sega also like they produce like very like medium grade figures, and it would be cool to see the Journalism Not Guaranteed cast on figures.
I see where he's going with this.
Merchandising.
Merchandise. Yeah.
I want Journalism Not Guaranteed the flamethrower.
You too, for the small fee of $300, you can own a 20-inch fully opposable Tectonic Improv model.
I'd buy it. I'd buy the Tectonic Improv action
for $300.
Pre-order bonus, and you get the Sega Saturn picture.
I was gonna say, you press the button on the back, and he says, "I love the Sega Saturn."
Segata.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's definitely one of them.
All right, Tech, what you got?
I love Flesh Casmer.
Oh, no.
Flesh Chaser, you mean? Ah, Christ. Okay, so I unfortunately have I only have one thing of news, because one of my news was going to be the Dreamcast thing, because I stole it from Tabby when she retweeted it, and I was like, I'll put this in the show notes because this is news. But you know, finders keepers, I guess, whatever, fuck you. Anyway, on March 29th, 2002, Fire Emblem: The Binding Blade was released for the Game Boy Advance. Now, you may think, oh, unassuming, whatever, who cares? Fire Emblem game, big deal. Well, here's the thing about Fire Emblem: The Binding Blade. Well, not only has... This actually kind of works, actually, now I think about it, because this is the day that Martha's dead, and Roy has risen from the flames.
Everything is cyclical.
With his fire sword.
Everything is cyclical around here, boys.
Yeah. Fire Emblem: The Binding Blade marked a very big turn in the Fire Emblem series, because it's the first game to be directed without long... What are you laughing at?
I'm just thinking about how I'm going to put Scott the Woz in the thumbnail.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I just completely derailed you, like, just by laughing.
Known hater of Fire Emblem, Scott the Woz.
True.
The Binding Blade was a big turning point in the series, because it's the first one to be directed, I believe, since the first game. The first game wasn't directed by this man, but every other game after until Binding Blade was directed by a man named Shozo Kaga. Shozo Kaga is he's kind of a legend in the Fire Emblem community for his eccentric game design choices, and just for basically like making Fire Emblem the series that it is for the first 5 entries or so.
Is he responsible for making Three Houses a bad video game?
No, he had nothing to do with Three Houses. That was way after him, because he left after finishing directing Thracia 776, which is the 5th entry in the series. It came out on the Super Nintendo in get this, in the year 1999.
Where did he go?
He's like I think he's like an independent developer now, because he's responsible for this game series called Turing Saga, which was so unabashedly Fire Emblem that he actually got sued by Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's how'd that turn out for him? Is he still making Turing Saga?
He turned the squares into hexes, and he was fine.
Oh, cool! Like HeroClix.
And then there's also he made it like HeroClix. HeroClix doesn't have a Japanese presence, so they didn't sue him. He also made this game. I actually don't know if this is related to Turing Saga, but it's called Berwick Saga. It was on the PS2. Ricky Berwick Saga is what I always think of whenever I hear that name. And also, just recently, he made a game called Vesteria Saga. These are all tactical RPGs, by the way, that play like Fire Emblem.
Too many sagas.
Tales of Vesteria?
Do they still make Tactics Ogre games?
No,
I don't think they do.
Those were like good though. I like them.
Square Enix.
Man, Squeenix, you need to get your shit together.
But yeah, Shozo Kaga, and he seems to be doing fine. He's kind of like a reclusive figure. And I think that's part of what's given him his legend status in the Fire Emblem community. But anyway, The Binding Blade had nothing to do with him. It was directed without him, because he left the company presumably on bad blood, actually. A lot of people think that he was ousted or he quit or something out of frustration, but people don't really know. But they made The Binding Blade in 2002. Yeah, all right. So Null has just linked a picture of Roy and Lilina, who are the 2 characters from The Binding Blade. Lilina actually is the daughter of Hector. If you've ever played Fire Emblem 7,
Hector is
then
so
you would
cool.
know who Hector is. Hector. Everyone loves Hector. So here's the thing about The Binding Blade. It's a prequel to FE7, or a sequel to FE7. It takes place I believe 20 or so something years after that game. So Hector's like this old man, and spoilers for The Binding Blade, he dies. In chapter 3, he dies. As just it's really funny how little of a character he is in the game, as well as Eliwood, because Eliwood's in it too. And he's another guy from FE7,
badass.
and he's just some 40-something guy who's bedridden. And you barely see him after the 3rd chapter.
Wait, so
he doesn't die.
Fire Emblem 7, is that Fire Emblem?
Yes, that's Fire Emblem.
Okay.
The one with Lyn? Yeah.
Wait. Okay, so it's just to clear this up. all of the Japanese games for these Fire Emblem games don't fucking matter because they pulled a funny Final Fantasy on us with this one.
Yeah, they did.
So like he's like Tech is going to like you're probably sitting here like Binding Blade. What the fuck is that? Or like
I think people probably know Binding Blade because it's the one with Roy in it, and Roy famously debuted in Super Smash Bros. Melee before Binding Blade came out.
Didn't Roy like?
So it's got that.
Isn't Roy like a really bad unit in that game?
So I was going to talk about this because I actually just recently played the Binding Blade, like last month or so. Roy is not good in his game. He is terrible. And the reason he isn't good is he has terrible... His stats are just not great, and he's locked to one weapon type, swords. So he can't use axes or lances, and he's also a foot unit, so he doesn't have a horse, so he can't move as fast as some of your other guys like Marcus or fucking Percival or Milady or whatever. I'm just fucking saying names that none of you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, Roy is not very good in his game until the chapter, like 3 chapters before the end of the game, because that's when you get the titular Binding Blade. Woo. And that promotes him to like Great Lord status or whatever, and he just like, you just mulch shit with that Binding Blade. It's the biggest like Virgin to Chad transformation I've ever seen.
It's a shame
it's really good.
It's a shame they couldn't give him the Binding Blade in Melee because he fucking sucks in that game too.
He does actually have the Binding Blade in Melee. He's
really?
holding it.
Okay, then why doesn't it mulch?
Because he's bad, and they made the game he's from after Melee. he acts. Roy as a character is also just like kind of boring. He's just kind of like a kid who's like, I must save the day. He's way cooler in Melee, where he's like kind of got this like cocksure sort of like rambunctious attitude to him, just like especially in like Smash 4 and Ultimate, the way he holds his sword just tells you so much about him, and the way he kind of like holds it like hilt facing downward towards the ground. I was confusing myself because I was looking at the webcam. But yeah, Binding Blade itself, I like it. I think it's actually a pretty good game. I'd recommend it if you like GBA Fire Emblem and you somehow haven't played it yet. It definitely has some problems to it. It's very much simplified compared to the older Fire Emblem games, and it has some pretty big problems, like the way to get the true ending is so obnoxious. Like, you have to go through so many hoops. I won't go into it because I've been talking about this game for long enough. But there's like same turn ambush spawns that can fuck you over. The hit rates in general are just not that good compared to the other Fire Emblem games, so you're gonna miss a lot. But yeah, Fire Emblem: The Binding Blade, it's a big deal game because it was a turning point in the series, and that is my essay on Fire Emblem.
Very
the
cool.
Binding Blade.
Fire Emblem,
no.
the Binding Blade. Did you play this? What was that, Tabby?
Before you get into your thing,
I was just gonna let you go
because badass. Well, I was while you were talking about Fire Emblem, a game I don't care about. I decided to look up like what happened to the people who made Tactics Ogre.
What happened?
Turns out they went defunct April 1st, 2003. It's within the news.
Oh, damn. That's sad. This has kind of been like sad stuff.
No, sad stuff.
Except for Binding Blade.
What happened is, because looking into this, they released Tactics Ogre Night of Lotus on the Game Boy Advance.
I played that on my like old fucking on my old YouTube channel, which shall not be, you can find it, but I'm not going to tell you how. I have like a Let's Play like commentary in annotations that I made for that game.
RIP annotations.
Yeah, well, the annotations, it wasn't like YouTube annotations, it was fucking annotations that I put on the video.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, so I have that, and it was like I got 3 episodes in Knights of Lotus. I love that game. But yeah, what is the studio? You didn't mention their name.
It's Quest.
Who
they were dissolved into Square Enix, and then they became the Final Fantasy Tactics studio.
Okay, so
but Tactics had already come out.
What about Tactics Advance and Tactics A2?
I mean, I'm sure that talent was probably better put to use on something that people like. They're like, oh yeah, I like Final Fantasy. Look, Chocobo.
Yeah, and then on the PSP, the creator, what's his name, Matsuno.
Yasumi Matsuno.
Yeah, he came back to work on a freelance basis to work on the PSP version of Tactics Ogre, the remake of it, and that's all that the company's done. He
also created a scenario for Stormblood, Final Fantasy 14 expansion.
That's interesting.
And he's responsible for the Return to Ivalice raid.
Okay, did he?
He also did Save the Queen, Blades of Gunhilder in Shadowbringers. So like, you know, he's still like, he still plays a role.
Yeah,
in
he's
Square Enix.
He's balling outrageous.
Looking. Oh, it's the
This is just the Ivalice guy. He just does all the Ivalice shit.
Yeah, no, the fuck this guy. This quest this scenario he did in FF14, Return to Ivalice, is bullshit. And then the Shadowbringer Save the Queen, Blades of a Gunhilder is is how you get the best in slot weapon besides like the current raid gear, and it's such a dumb quest line that you have to do.
That's bad.
I'm literally in progress of doing both of those right now, and I want to like slam my head against a wall.
I'm happy he's doing well.
But he also worked on Mad World.
The song?
I literally, Mad World only exists in like a faint. That's a video game somebody made up, but there's cool music based off of it.
Did you play this Mad World?
Literally never.
It's Platinum's first game.
That's interesting. Oh, I had a sticker for Mad World. It just said "Caution, Mad World," and then it was on my dresser. I never played the game. I just had the sticker. I don't even know where I got it.
You know what? Mad World has the potential to be a good Platinum game.
Fucking Mad World.
Because Kamiya didn't direct it.
Fuck you. That's again bad takes Tabby back at it again. Hating Hideki Kamiya. Anyway, Mad World.
I don't hate Hideki Kamiya.
The soundtrack needs to be on vinyl.
Mid.
What about DMC1?
Literally wrong. He made Bayonetta.
Devil May Cry 1 is like good, right? And he
Devil
did
May
that.
Cry. Resident Evil 2. I argue he hasn't made a bad game.
I argue almost every game he's made with Platinum is bad.
Devil May Cry 2? Come on.
He didn't work on that.
He did.
That was technically Itsuno.
But he did work on it. He came back to help on it.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he did.
Hold on.
Because Kamiya is allergic to sequels. He only did Resident Evil 2 because Mikami asked him to.
All right, that one's not good. That one's good. Wasn't done by him. That one's good. It was done by him. That one is good and wasn't done by him. Beautiful Joe, Okami.
Oh, okay. I thought Itsuno like fucking screwed the pooch on DMC2 and they brought Kamiya back.
No,
like, help
he was
with it.
Itsuno is we don't know who screwed the pooch on DMC2. That's how bad he fucked up.
Right.
But Itsuno is the one who made it playable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't.
Well, not
I thought that. I don't know where I got the notion that Kamiya like came back. I think I was just like conflating the story with Hideo Kojima and Metal Gear Rising with DMC2, and I'm just like, yeah, that happened for that game too.
Kamiya didn't work on Revengeance though.
Well, yeah, Kamiya, but like Platinum did.
I got a copy of Devil May Cry signed by Kamiya at PAX before.
We saw the room tour. We know
before the end of the world. Well, any chance I get to talk about that, it's cool. It's a cool story.
It is pretty cool.
Also, Inaba from Platinum also signed it too.
Yeah. So the other thing that I was going to mention before this, I was digging through, as we do, old IGN articles, trying to find the news of the past.
I don't actually do that anymore. I get all my news from a different source. No, not Neoseeker.
Badass.
I won't reveal my sources.
I'll be the IGN guy then. So apparently back in 2012, the Microsoft had registered HaloInfinity.net.
Oh wow.
What is that?
And if you go to the website, it redirects to Xbox.com. Well, what's the new Halo game called?
I don't know. What is the new Halo game called?
It's called Halo Infinite. Oh. The new game's called Halo Infinite.
Sorry.
So I just like because this was back in 343, would have just taken over, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
So did Microsoft plan this out this far in advance to have Halo Infinity Multiplayer.com registered?
No, I think Halo Infinite was probably just a name they had on the back burner for years, and they're finally using it.
Yeah, I think that if they had something called Halo Infinity, it was like a prototype where they're like, this is what we're doing for this, and then they went on to make Halo, and they're like, oh, we'll call it Infinite, or maybe they looked back at that and was like, oh, that was a pretty all right name, we'll call it Infinite. I don't. Yeah,
companies will also just sit on domain names.
Yeah,
of just random shit.
I don't. I'm not gonna buy into the fact that they're what year was this? 2000 and what?
2012.
Yeah. I don't think so.
It is interesting though.
It's pretty cool. It's a neat coincidence at worst, and at best, it's groundbreaking. It's shattering. The whole
Phil Spencer is taking over the world.
But what's your news though? Oh wait, that was your news.
That literally was the news.
Oops. Okay.
My lord.
Hey, so we know about Twitch streamers, right?
Oh, God.
Unfortunately.
Who's your favorite Twitch streamer? Mine's Amaranth. That's not true, actually, but...
Isn't it the lady who spit vodka into her cat's mouth?
No, that's that was Alinity, right?
Alinity, yeah. Amaranth is currently doing a hot tub stream, though.
That's pretty poggers.
Anyway,
mine's the girl from that Call of Duty montage video.
Yeah, no, that's so good. Okay, so...
My favorite is Ludwig.
Ludwig's pretty cool. I'm a Lud bud.
Yeah. Lud redacted.
But anyway, so I don't know when it started. It was probably around the time that this happened. But April 1st, 2014, April Fool's Day, a game is released by the name of Goat Simulator. And I want to track the birth of streamer bait, because this game is very... I think
this is it. This is the primordial soup of streamer bait.
I think if it's not...
Well, this wasn't streamer bait at the time. This was Let's Play channel bait.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's right.
This was... Because this was peak of the Rooster Teeth Achievement Hunter stuff, of I don't know if Game Grumps played this, but they probably did. They did. Fucking Markiplier... that core of audience. This is that game that I feel really spurred up from those people.
This is I mean, when I call something streamer bait, this is even if it was aimed at someone who's not a streamer, it's the content creators rather than the streamers. It's still what we know as streamer bait today, right? So 2014 Goat Simulator comes out. It's not an interesting, it's not I don't know, it doesn't have a lot going for it except for the fact that it's random.
Oh, so funny.
It's random, and Markiplier can be look, the goat does the thing. He takes the ball from the man, and the man can't get the ball or the phone.
See,
and I feel this
is
game
coming out. I'm getting. I'm just remembering. I'm just having memories from when this game came out and going on V and just seeing the relentless hatred for it.
Well, because
just existing.
Here's the thing. Goat Simulator, I don't feel...
Goatsy Simulator?
Oh, no. I don't think Goat Simulator would have... I don't think it would have, even floated. I think that game would have, sunk like a fucking rock if it weren't for, the marketing of, the influencers, right?
This game never gets successful today.
Well, there was also like
Untitled
I
Goose
think
Game.
it
Untitled Goose Game is like competently made though. The
True.
whole thing with Goat Simulator is that it's like Unity trash.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
So the thing is I also because I remember this being a big thing in the montage parody scene, which I was a part of around this time, of like Forklift Simulator and that kind of stuff being a joke.
Sure.
And I definitely think that helped it because it uses the same font as Train Simulator 2012 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those games are like, I mean, the thing, they're like actual Sims. Like Goat Simulator is like, what is there to simulate?
Yeah, but it's making fun of those simulator games, which that was a very like popular joke.
Yeah.
So that plus being streamer bait and all that, I think really helps it.
No, that game was like really just like bad. Like I don't really like ragging on games because I think that like I think that like there's no developer on earth for a video game who is like setting out to make a bad game. But like, goddamn, does it feel like they were setting out to make a bad game?
Yeah, I was because I was thinking whenever I think of Goat Sim, I also think of Octodad for some reason.
Nope. That's very. They kind of go hand in hand.
But I feel like Octodad at least has more going for it.
Sure. Yeah.
Because when I back in whatever year, because I think they released around the same time, 2013, 2014, something like that. Like Octodad, you could play without knowing it was like a streamer bait game and still like enjoy the 3 hours it takes to beat that game.
There's like a plot and like a goal in Octodad.
The gimmick is fun and it doesn't overstay its welcome versus Goat Simulator, which is like the whole open world thing. I don't know. I literally don't actually know anything about the game.
I just think it's interesting to talk about and like look back on where the streamer bait has gone, you know? Because like it's like you talk about a streamer bait game now, you're thinking of like Fall Guys. You're like, yeah, that's streamer bait. Getting over it. Like these games. These are like
King.
These are like...
These are competently made games.
Very good games, yes. Like, very well-made games. And they're not like... And it's just like you kind of have Goat Simulator to thank for it, unfortunately.
Hey, let's not forget about I Am Bread, okay?
I Am Bread. Hold on. That sounds familiar. What is that?
That's a blast from the past.
It's a game where you play as a piece of bread.
What about like... the original Slender Man game? I feel like that was like...
That's not streamer bait. That's just an indie that was like really popular. Listen, there is a difference. There's a difference between a game that like gets popular because...
No. Oh my god.
Yeah?
Developers of Goat Simulator. Want to guess what game they made? Want to guess what they went on to make?
Hold up. What is it?
You could probably guess it. It's not an unpopular game.
Among Us? No, I don't know. Bossa Studios?
No, don't look it up.
I'm already looking it up. It's too late.
They
made I Am Bread.
Is that the answer? Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Oh.
Come on, Tabby.
I don't
Hurry
know.
up and guess.
I give up.
Deep Rock Galactic. Valheim.
What?
Yeah, it's on their website. Satisfactory is too. This must be a publishing. It says all right. It says both develop and publish games. So which games did they make? Did they actually make Deep Rock Galactic?
They made Early Access Satisfactory. They made Goat Simulator. They made Sanctum 2, Sanctum, and I Love Strawberries.
Ghost Ship Games did Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah, no, all these games, Valheim. Yeah, no, these guys just got a pile of money and started publishing games. They did not go on to make good.
That's psycho shit. How the fuck do you make that much money off Goat Simulator?
Well, Goat Simulator probably cost, I don't know, $30 to make, and it
kind of makes me a little mad.
let me
That makes me angry.
They were just in the right place doing the right thing at the right time. Like, it's just a matter of that.
That's actually less than I thought. Goat Sim had an all-time peak of 10,000.
Yeah,
players?
I don't know.
On Steam, yeah. But I remember they released a lot of DLC for it. They had console releases.
Yeah. It was, people were buying that game for sure. But anyway, I want to go back to what I was saying. Like, the difference between something like Goat Simulator and something like Slender is, like, Slender wasn't, like, specifically marketed at Markiplier. Like, it's a game that was like an indie horror game that somebody was making. They're like, you know, this is really cool, I'm going to make this. And then it picked up. That's a fucking underdog story. That's based. All right, streamer bait games, not so much an underdog story. Not so based.
A little cringe.
Actually,
even.
Among Us is more like Slender than it is Goat Simulator. Because it was a game that was made a very long time ago that just caught public eye. That like streamers started picking up.
It was made in 2018, right?
Yeah, no,
Yep.
it was this
best game of 2020, by the way.
It was part of a it was
like a game jam, right?
Yeah, it was part of like a game bundle in like I don't know if it was a game jam game, but they had like a game bundle that they did on Humble, and people got that because people buy Humble, and they're like, hey, what's this Among Us thing? And then it just fucking blew up.
like Griffith holding the baylet. What's this Among Us thing?
Yeah, no, like Among Us
the
is
blood starts trickling down onto it in the full moon, and then all of a sudden,
Among Us is like the physical representation of a diamond in the rough, dude. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think out of most indie devs, the Among Us guys, they deserve it.
They deserve it.
They seemed very. It was very cute when they won the award at the Game Awards, and they were just like, it's just the three of them like chilling in their like apartment.
Well, they're also the Henry Stickmin guys.
Yeah. Well, it was
cool.
the Henry Stickmin collection. Like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was a Henry Stickmin collection, and it was released on Humble Bundle.
The new map, which I actually think released today, is a Henry Stickmin map.
Yeah.
It's on the plane.
Pretty cool. I don't know anything about Henry Stickmin. I just know like why this game blew up because it interests me.
It was an old Flash game.
Yeah, it was an old like Dragon's Lair-esque Flash game where you picked what this guy would do, and you progress further if you pick the right thing. And there's like comedic, images or it's funny Flash game.
I have breaking news.
Like breaking old news.
Breaking news as of 4 minutes ago.
Oh, well, that's technically on the 2nd of April, so you can't put it in.
It's true.
I'll have you know it's still the 1st for me.
Listen, I'm trying to break my eyelids and go to sleep. What is it?
So the Nier Twitter account just posted an image of presumably playable characters or story relevant characters for the Nier Replicant release that's in a couple days or
is 2B in
weeks. There? No, but Papa Nier is.
Oh, that's cool. People like him.
Yeah, but why is he here?
I don't know. Maybe they put in a Gestalt mode.
I mean, I hope, because Gestalt is the better version of the game, but
it's the one you played.
No, I think it's legitimately better because I think the father-daughter story versus the brother-sister story is better.
Listen, dude, if I want a father-daughter story, I'm just gonna play The Last of Us. So
it's called brother-sister.
Sister.
Do you know that guy? Did you like? I'm trying not to like go super off topic, but that guy's making a movie. Like he's trying to crowdfund it.
I'm gonna watch it. What is it? Because he also did that Baphomet sketch.
Oh, you're talking about. No.
Bowser.
Yeah, Bowser Vids. I love that guy.
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Notice me.
I find that he's so funny.
Yeah, on onyxthemovie.com. Let me go to that website. Yeah, it's a kick. Oh, it's got 9 hours left to go. So it's too late by the time you're hearing this.
He made
but it's made its goal.
He made a fucking indie film. that was completely shot in first person, and it was pretty cool. I think it was called Worm.
Oh, he made his goal. That's good. The weird
Yeah,
Satanist guy is making a feature film.
Yeah.
Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's really cool.
No, he's like a really good filmmaker. And, you know, support him. Is that all for news?
I mean,
I think that's it.
I think that's
Great.
it.
Play me out, Scotty.
Scotty the Waz.
Scotty the Wazzy.
Is the Scott the Waz theme all like? Is that from something or is that original music?
It's from 3D Dot Game Heroes.
How the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Well, first of all, he credits it in the earlier videos and the description. Second of all, I've played 3D Dot Game Heroes.
Okay.
From Software Classic. Also made by Silicon Studio, I think.
Like Cookie and Cream?
Yeah, like Cookie and Cream, except I've actually played 3D Dot Game Heroes. It's a cool game. They should actually they should re-release it. They should re-release 3D Dot Game Heroes because it's kind of ahead of its time in a lot of ways.
So apparently the Onyx movie it's going to be like Gremlins.
Stop. I can only give him so much money. Okay, we're done.
Play me out.
Are we? Is that enough?
You can do the fade out when I'm talking about 3D Dot Game Heroes.
Yeah, but you have
Or
to say
now, I guess,
you have to say goodbye.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, I thought we were doing the fade out.
We
Goodbye.
do the fade out.
Thank you all for watching. Journalism Not Guaranteed. Maybe one day we'll get this show under 2 hours. Don't count on
Never.
it, though.
It's really not gonna happen.
I just don't get it. How do we keep talking for so long?
Because we have funny side tangents that your sister tells us are cool.
We're so